Welcome to Online Game Freaks. This is Freaks. Thank you for joining us to tackle the most exciting challenges that Scrap Mechanic has to offer. In this remastered supercut of episodes 11 through 20, we establish a foothold on this hostile alien world by building a fortress capable of destroying even the most determined haybots. There is much to learn and explore as we share secrets to automation, warehouses, and survival design that will help make your Scrap Mechanic playthrough epic.
We are continuing our ongoing Scrap Mechanic Survival series with a focus on watering system. Our goal is to fight off successfully the top raid in Scrap Mechanic Survival, which is a tier 10. You have to have the maximum crops in, you have to have 100 plots, which we have here. And the trick with that, of course, is it's a lot to water by hand. And there's various ways that you can water this automatically, and we're going to cover a few of those, starting with some of the most basic and working our way up to quite an advanced system. One, a source of water. Very important. The next part of this, of course, is we're going to want to start automating things. And, of course, we've got to cover it. The old-fashioned way is just run in here, you fill up your bucket, and you run over, and you throw it on the crops. And for something that's 100 plots, that's going to take a while. Even if you get lucky and you spread and you get 2, it takes a bit to water everything. First step in automation, you want to get a vacuum pump. As you'll see down here, we've got it loaded up, set up so that I can even show you the wiring. We have a vacuum pump going into a watering container so that we have our water, and you can see it's measured, which is nice. With the watering cannon hooked to the system, you'll be able to push a button if you like, which isn't truly automated, but it shortens the trip. As you see, I don't have to walk all the way to the pond, all the way over here, and into the farm and manually water these back and forth. By simply installing a button to the pump down there, we're able to, one at a time, every time I push the button, we get ourselves a nice squirt of water. And if you're holding a bucket when this happens, here, I'll just throw it, empty, you stand under it, you can fill your bucket over and over. This works well, and you can call it sort of automation, but it's more of, it makes your life simpler, but not necessarily what I would call fully automated. Now the automation comes in, as you see underneath, I have a sensor. So the first step I'm gonna call this step 1 automation, and it's sensor based. And you don't have to fiddle with the buckets. If you just run underneath it, the sensor will trigger and fill up the bucket. I don't have to hit the button, so I am going to call this automated in that we have at least automated something. In this case, we are near the farm, and if I walk next to the sensor, it simply just fills the bucket up. And this alone, you can stand under and just hurl water. So this alone is a huge step. And the minimum being, of course, you have to have the vacuum pump, the watering container, and a sensor, so that the sensor itself, and I have the sensor in this case wired into a logic gate. It's an OR gate, so I can use the switch or I can use the button. I'll show you here, just an OR gate. And that allows me, with this switch here, I can turn on the pump, and this is full. But what this allows me to do is I can come over here and take these, and it starts filling up real fast because I have a switch on it attached to the OR gate. And now what I can do is use the water, and I can feed it into my my ever-growing chain for building. This fills up. You can see it starts flashing red when it's full, and you can just turn it off. And it's full, and it has this dual purpose that with this OR gate, it says, hey, if you hit the button, I'm going to distribute water. If you hit the switch, I'm going to distribute water. If you hit, in this case, because we also have a sensor on it, if I hit the sensor, it's going to distribute water. So it's a great use for an OR gate that says, hey, no matter where it's coming from, I'm going to distribute water. There is one catch, is that if I'm triggering the sensor and I hit the button, we don't get anything, but that's okay. I'm calling it automated because of the bucket situation, and that's the current system we have installed. But we're going to add a few parts that allow us to cover more range in our system without running around with buckets at all, and we'll call it truly automated. We're basically going to create a sprinkler. Just to make it simple, spoiler, we're going to create a sprinkler. And with that, we'll just need to find a point that works. I think right off the tower here, like right here. With the sprinklers like in your yard, it goes back and forth. Eventually it'll cover everything. We'll put it right here. I like being up and tall. I think that's great. But we'll put that there, and then we're gonna put our pipe on it, like so, bearing, So now we'll be able to go, we'll turn left to right and cover the field that way. Then we'll put another pipe here, and this will allow us to go up and down, so that we can cover the whole field there. So now we can attach this right to the bearing like so. It'll straighten out once we get a controller on it, but I think that's a good start point for the hookup of this. I'll fiddle with these things, trying to get the adjustments just right, trying to cover a perfect field. And I realize that sometimes just move a couple of blocks, like maybe it doesn't cover the first row, just move it to the end. Nothing wrong with that. You've saved it, now it sprays, it covers everything, and you're not running around carrying buckets, which we all know is the goal of this entire exercise. Let's do the up and down bearing that way, and or the left and right. There we go. All right, so we're in our neutral position. The 1 bearing is left and right, and the 2 bearing is up and down. A little dialing in here. I think we have somewhat of a pattern that looks like what I'm going for. Coverage left to right, top to down. It will change angles, and the randomizer should hit it a little bit. But just to show you where we're at, what I've got so far is it'll go left to right on the top row. There's a bit of a quick one at the end there as it resets itself. It'd be nice to have another programming option to the right, but we ran out of loops, so it'll be a little bit of a hurry. And then it does the up and down piece, but it slowly works its way up, and then it comes back down and resets at the end. And I've got the speed all the way up to fast, so you can see how this dance looks. I haven't hooked the water to it, but you can see how it goes left, it goes down a little bit, goes right, goes down a little bit, left, goes down a little bit, etc. So it goes to about an 80 degrees, so almost 90, which should make sure it's firing a little bit. I haven't hooked the water to it yet, so we're all gonna learn together how far this is gonna fly. So now what we need to do, let's try our water. Actually, let me take some of these plants out so we have a couple extra dry plots we can use to see how successful this is. Like before I pointed out, because I have several things that need water, I have this OR gate on top. So we'll go right to that. So the switch is hooked to it, and then the water tank itself, we're gonna hook up to our water cannon, like that. So, okay, so we are armed. So in theory, when I hit this switch, it's gonna water everything. It's gonna be great. Now I do anticipate it's gonna miss some things. Ooh, let me slow it down. Part of this is that, and this is why we built next to a water source, is a little patience is required. It's gonna spray at random. It's gonna keep pulling in water from the pond, which the water in the pond is infinite, so there's no problem there. We do want it to move slow. It'll turn it on, but it'll only send 1 piece of water out, because it just does 1 every time you turn it on. So what we're gonna have to actually do is turn on a pulse to this so it knows to keep to spray as quick as it can. And to do that, we just set up a little looper. Let me turn this off. Okay, we're so close. You can see how it's spraying, but it's not repeating it. So what we can do is, and you can set these up with a timer or without a timer. I find for a sprinkler system, keep it simple. You're wanting to spray as fast as possible. I'll grab a timer so you can see both, because I do want to build on that timer concept here in a second on the next iteration of our watering system. Very easy way to do this is just to set these 3 guys up like so. And we connect them all together like so. So they're all just looped in. And we'll feed it our switch like so. And so now when this switch is turned on, and we're off at the moment, when the switch is turned on, it will make these things blink really fast. And that's the signal we want to send into the water cannon instead of the actual gate over there. You get out of there, because we want that to get the pulsing signal from this logic gate system that we're setting up here. So I'll just go ahead and set this guy up. He's the one we want to go to the cannon. If we go to the middle one and we make it a NAND gate, I think it works with an XOR or others. You'll see it lights these up and it's waiting for a condition to come through. And if we wire, this to here, so then it's dormant, but when we turn this on, it'll get the pulse from it, and you can see here it's spraying as fast as it can. And we can turn it off, and it resets this, and it works perfectly fine. This is a really fast way to get things spraying. If you're water conscious, you can throw a timer in here instead of doing it this way. You can, let me just kill all these connections so I keep track of everything. But you can do it, let's say, go from here to here. You throw the timer in the works. So when it's activated, this timer will put in a delay. Keep in mind, this is not needed in this situation. It's still a 3 logic system. You just added a timer instead of a logic gate. Now it's the same system. We got a NAND gate here, the timer, a logic on just the regular and by default. You can see how it's, now this is ready for a signal. When we turn it on, it works really fast. But if we go into the system, you can slow it down. Now it's only, I made it 8 seconds, which is kind of long to wait to prove a point. But now every time it gets a beep, it will wait 8 seconds. It will spray another one. It'll wait another 8 seconds. And this whole loop is slowed down considerably by the timer. So you can control the speed at which this goes. We can make it 1 second, or we can, you can use your milliseconds here. We can make it fast, but not too fast. So now we're spraying at a pretty good rate. We don't have great coverage yet, maybe a little further. And I think, look, you can see this, we're getting all the buildings. There's just no reason for it to go that far out, as far left and right as it can. A little fine tuning here, and we can have more of these. There we go. And that should really keep it more in bounds, quite a bit more. Yep, it's definitely a system, and we can dial it in a little more. And if I was going to leave it this way, I definitely would. Leave it in. I dial it in and maybe perfect it some. But I don't have any complaints. I think it's working great. I could maybe put it on a pole or put it out in the middle a little bit. But I think what you can see here is just, I can leave it running. I can go on and do other things. You're now fully automated. You've got one water pump, a few little extra parts to help it make sure that you're getting plenty of water out of it. But now I can just get into the seed and harvesting business. I'm no longer in the watering business, which is just wonderful. Now the thing about this system is, as you can see, requires a little patience, and I could dial it in and I could call it a day, and I'd probably get it to this point where I'd have every crop watered. There would be no reason to go any further. However, I'm trying to get prepared for the level 10 maximum rate, and for that we're going to be planting really top tier crops. We're going to have raids coming every single night. And at that point, I'm going to be scrambling, trying to make sure that the defenses are set up and the traps are working and I have enough potatoes, that I can't be watering, I can't be harvesting the crops or anything like that. So I'll want the system to do that for me. And what we'll do is we're going to have rails set up around the farm, and we're going to, with pistons, push the watering cannon across the farm from left to right, top to bottom, one crop at a time, and drop a single drop of water in the center of each of these. So one of the things about this system is it's a little complex. So what you'll want to make sure you do is don't build it into the ground fully until you've got it really established of exactly how big it is, how you want it set up, where things are going to lie. So first thing I do is sketch. We're going to sketch a design. I'm going to come up just 2 blocks out from the end here, and I'm going to start throwing in some poles. But step one, we've got our frame built. What we can do now is, it's going to get a little more complicated because we're going to have moving parts. So now we have the ability to detach it from the ground and use our lift. And it'll make more sense as soon as we start taking more shape, but you can kind of see it's going to be a 3D printer. I'm just going to rough this in. This isn't necessarily where these are finally going to go. But I'll come out here like 3, and then we'll go up a couple here, because what we're going to do is we're going to install some pistons that are going to push these parts, or push the sled out. So we're just going to start with these really good pistons, and then I'm going to put another block on it and another block on it, and then 2 more pistons. And what this is going to do is each piston, and I can show you here once I install it, each piston will have, it can go up to 15 blocks. So 2 pistons, as I've established here, boom, boom, that'll allow me to go 30. And that should be enough. I want to, oh boy. Want to make sure this connects to that piston. And it didn't. So this is why we built it the way we did. Because to connect these, I need it on the lift. All right, so now we can do this. Now it's on the lift. We can go ahead and start it here. And yeah, see how it highlighted that piston? So now everything's attached like it should be. The weld tool shows it. Oh, look at that. Weld tool shows it that it needs to be welded. All right, so now we have a pusher of part of the sled. We'll want to take this, the rest of the way out to the side. Like so. There we go. And I'm just gonna build a box. We can simplify this a little later, like so. And we don't want these attached, right? These are gonna move, right? The pistons are gonna push this across our platform. Make sure, yeah, okay, that's all good, perfect. So that's a sled, and you can see that these two pistons, or 4 rather, are gonna be able to push that sled across this way. So we're gonna come over here, and we're gonna do the same thing we did over on the other side, which is, but this way, we can put it in the middle. I think we can get away with just 1 piston. I do like to come up, it's just, if they touch, it's another point of friction. I don't want anything that would slow it down. So I come up a little bit, and that way I can put the pistons here. And I do think I need 2, but you know, just together. Here we go. Nope, not close enough. Close enough. There we go. That's a piston, and then I need my block and another piston. So we'll put that there. Actually, that one more block out actually allows us to build the frame. I was gonna say, oh, I'll just hang it, but it won't. You're gonna be two pistons out, and it's just going to want to flop all over the place. I mean, it's spraying. It's gonna look really rough. Here, there we go. It's right on center this way, right on center this way. This is exactly what we wanted. I'm already thinking ahead to when automatic seed and the harvester pieces can be added to this. But for right now, I think I'm really happy with this. I've got a sled on top pushing the water system with a couple of pistons. Then I've got a sled with that whole piece that makes it go left to right. So in theory, with a little programming, this should walk across the entire field watering all 100 crops. Now, we got a little testing to do to make sure all that adds up, but so far, so good. But I think for now, let's go ahead and install this into the ground and see if we can get, oh, I've got to tip it over. I got to get it off the lift. Okay. All right, lift down and lift up. So here we get a lift. I just got to get a hold of this little foot. There we go. So now what we've got is a pretty good rail system set up. I've programmed it in with using a single controller for it to, and you can see, I know it's kind of hard to read when you work with it yourself. It becomes much easier to intuitively know what it's doing. But basically I have pistons 1 and 2, the items 1 and 2, which are the pistons. They fire off these 2 and they push it out first. And when they reach their max, then the second set of pistons move out. And it takes the watering right down the first row. It just goes down the first row. And then when it reaches the end of the first row, this is the first 2, then the second 2, it moves out the first piston a 3. It moves it out just 3 blocks over, nothing else changes. And then while it's 3 blocks over, it starts to retract 1 piston and then the other, etc. And it goes, basically the result of all this is it goes down and back 3 rows. And with 1 controller, that's as much as you can program both a down and back and a left and right to make it through what we have here, this 10 by 10 scenarios. It will work. You can finish this out. You can do 3 of these in a row and it does it. And then what you can do from there is after you've got those done, you can say, okay, I've done the 3 in a row. And now I know on the 4th one, this next set over here, I need another, 1, 2, 3, this one rather, I need another sprayer. And you can just hook this up just like that. And now you wire it in with the same as this sprayer here. And what it'll do is it'll water both row 4 and row 1 at the same time. And you can repeat this until you get to as many as you need. Downside is that you do need to buy a few extra sprinklers. No big deal, and it's a heck of a lot more economic than having, say, 1 sprinkler per row. And what we're gonna want to do, of course, is these only need to spray when they're lined up on our rows and dead center, hopefully. So what we'll do is we can install sensors. We'll want this one lined up straight over here at the very top of the sled. These cheap sensors, they don't have the color mode or anything, it's just a level 1 sensor. It's got some range, which will be helpful. This block here, as you can see it lit up, is dead center over the plot. So when this sensor hits that, we want it to fire. And then they're just 3 apart. So you just put these, you just put 2 blocks in between each of these and you line all these up. And then the sensor, as it moves across the sled, will have something it can hit, and that will tell it when it needs to fire, when it's going left or right. It also, however, we need to know which ones we need to water. And so for that, we can install another sensor. And in fact, I've already snuck one in there. You can see I put it right there, the little dot. and it's hitting another peg that is lined up again with the dead center of this row going this way. We continue the pattern, same as the other side. We just space them out with 2 blocks each. We've got the sensors attached. They've got know where the center of the rows are. What we want to do is put a little logic in here that when the sensors are lined up on both axis, X and Y, it will fire. So to do that, I put a little AND gate here, just leave it standard, and we're gonna put both sensors on that AND gate. And we don't want this to be true unless the actual system is on. So we'll put the on switch on, and you can see how it went from being true because they were lined up to false because the switch isn't currently on. And now, if both are true, let's fire the cannons. Like so. So now we've got water to the cannons. We've got the logic that would fire both cannons. We've got the programming in. Hopefully that will take it down and back. Takes it out one set of pistons at a time, then goes over a row, comes back one piston set at a time, and then it extends again. So hopefully we have all the progress we need to go down 3 complete rows, and then we repeat again with this. It's going at the same time. So let's hit the button. And we're off to the races. Perfect. We're getting good water every dot, and it should shift at the end. And when it hits the dots, it lines up again. Oh, it did. It did fire. When it got fully over, it fired again, and we have a perfect pattern. Oh, that's beautiful. That's gorgeous. Never been so excited to see watering before, but you just love it when a plan comes together. And this is pretty simple. You can see I have this really nice watering system that's lined up, and it only uses the water where it's needed, exactly 1 per plot, and it works really, really well. Welcome to Online Game Freaks. This is Freaks. Thank you for joining our ongoing series to take on the hardest raid in Scrap Mechanic, a tier 10 raid, which takes 100 crops and the highest tier vegetables and fruits that you can plant. And to prepare for that raid, we are building a fully automated planting and watering system. And in this episode, we'll be covering the final edition of our watering system that you see here, complete with a computerized driven system that keeps track of each row. Our focus will be on the watering system and completing this setup and getting it prepared to add on the additional components of both the automatic seeding system and harvesting system. So this sets up the foundation for us to put that full system together, and will be fully automated. Let's start at the beginning and show you how this all came together. This beautiful iron wall for us to begin the whole process of establishing the new watering system. And what we're going to do is basically teach it to count. Step 1, we got a start switch. And just so we can do some testing, and we'll have the ability to advance our row count, we'll install this here. Next up, let's go ahead and create our 1-bit generator. And we're just gonna separate it this way. It's the easiest way I know, just to keep the logic straight in my head. And we want to start with our XOR gate. Here we're going to put a NOR gate, and the bottom can stay an AND. And the wiring on this is very particular. You have to make sure you go from this one, make sure you're going from the XOR gate into both of the other two, and then go from the NOR gate into the AND gate. And then you put the button in into the first one, or the switch, which is fine. So now when I hit the button, we get that blip, that nice single blip here in the AND gate. Next up, we're going to go ahead and establish the memory. So let's stack up some of those. So our first memory bit we'll put right here, 1, 2, 3, and we make these all XOR gates. Very important. Doesn't work if they are AND gates. And it doesn't work. There we go. So now what we have is when we get this 1-bit blip, we go into all 3 of these at the same time. And that is like our first binary memory bit. It just turns it on and off. And that will become actually our first 2 rows in the garden. We're going to focus on just setting the memory. We're teaching it to count. So right now I can count to 2. So we're going to double that when we connect these as well to create our memory bit. Don't forget to make them XOR gates. All right, and they're all connected, so we have a memory bit. And to activate this, we want it to activate when the prior conditions have been met. So when it has to have already counted through this first binary piece. When this goes from its normal begin state, which is off, its second state, which is on, or we'll call it 1 to 2, right? It's now counted to 2. And now that it's at 2, and only when it's also on at 2 and it gets another click, do we want it to turn on this second memory bit. And you got to do them all 3 at once or it gets out of whack. So now if I click it, you'll see it's now moved to a third number or a third binary position. So it's gone from 0 to 1, and now it's gone, or you could call it, I'll probably screw this up, you're welcome to correct me. It's gone from a 0, 0 position into a 0, 1 position, right? So this position goes from 0 to 1, and this position can go from 0 to 1. And basically a 0 plus a 1 is a 3. But the way we're going to use it anyway. And by doing that, do the next click, and now we have 4. Both on equals 4. But if we click it again, everything turns off. We got more rows than that. We want it to count to at least 5. So we're going to have to add one more memory bit, like so, and do the standard wiring. It needs to be an XOR gate, XOR gate, XOR gate. And we wire them all together, so we have a nice memory chip. And very similar to the other one, we've got rules that says we don't want to fire this memory bit unless we've fully counted up. And the way to do that is, of course, we're going to add another condition here that says, okay, so now I need to make sure that not only I need to make sure I get a blip, of course, but now I also need to make sure both of these are on and I get a new blip. So I'm going to say, okay, both of these are on and I get a new blip, then turn on my memory. Let's test it. We're at 0 or 1, depending on how you want to count it. We'll call off 1. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It counts to 5. However, the challenge is now it's going to keep counting. 6, 7, 8, and then it starts over. So now we've done binary up to 8. It just doubles. That's how binary works. So we've gone from a 0 or 1 to a possible 4 to a possible 8 positions. I want the harvesters we're going to run 2, and we're going to run them in 5s. So I want it to go to 5, and then I want it to stop and go all the way back to the beginning and repeat. What I want it to do is count to 5, and then I want it to stop and reset. So the condition for that is we're going to build a little memory bit here that's going to say, okay, in the condition that we've got our 5 count going, let me just move it to that position, like so. So now we're sitting here, and if I get another blip, which, always starts with that, okay, we've got another click, what do I do? And in this case, we want it to establish, it says if you've counted to 5, reset this. Also, don't do the blip you did here. And there may be a better way, but this way it only takes a second. And if as far as like moving the carriage around, you get a little tiny click here, but it goes away immediately, and it turns out to not be a big deal. So what I did is I'll put down another, because I wanted to do it in step. So at first check, logic check is this light's on, and I get another click. If that's true, then I want you to execute this command, which is to turn that memory bit off. And when you click it, it's going to set this memory on for a second, and we're just going to turn that off. There may be, again, a more elegant way to do this. This works. and I can already think in my brain's trying to think of other logic ways to do this. I know it's spaghetti. The blip will come through and turn this on. And just for a second, because it will quickly see that it has these on, and then it'll say, nope, turn those off, and then turn these back off again, and the system will be set back down to 0. So let's test it. Look, there it is. It went all the way back down to 0. So now if we test it, it counts to 5. So we start here with everything off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it resets. We've got a system that counts to 5. We've got 10 rows, so we can do 2 rows of 5. And the math should work out perfectly. And the way that we're going to make this counting system work is we're going to tie it to these pistons. Now, one thing we can do is, the easy answer is we've got this controller for moving these back 2 pistons that just need to go the full length. They're full 15, and maybe the second one will cut a little short, and we'll build it into our system. It's a cosmetic thing, but I like to get it right. I like to see the doodads. There's a side that has buttons. There we go. An on-off thing. So when we turn this on, we got the controller set. And we're gonna, I wonder if I can reach, there's one, nope, controller. Can I reach? Oh, it won't let me reach. I gotta do a little jogging. When we first fire off, we need these two to go full length. Nice and slow. And then these two to go full length. And that's it. So let's just test this just to see, you know, test as you go. Otherwise, you're just going to program in problems. And it's pretty good. Yeah, let's see. It's going to probably go a little long. Yeah, we'll make these 13s. And perfect. Even the sled lines up. The next step is an interesting way because we're going to build it into a system of firing pistons that when they total, they'll cover the 5 crop plots that they need to. And it's basically coming up with the combinations that equal 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. We'll be able to do this with a few pistons that'll get us there. We'll see if it won't quite take 2 because you're kind of doing them in magic combinations. Yeah, they're mathematical calculations if you'd rather, but it's more fun to call it magic. But what we're going to be able to do is just by firing, well, like say one piston is going to be at 3, and the next one will be at 6. And between them, we can fire the one piston, will take us over 3. We can fire the second piston only, which will take us over to the 6. But if we fire both, it'll take us over to the 9. And if we add another piston, you get more combinations. It's very similar to actually how it's set up exactly to work with the memory bits that we've set up. So when these lights are on in their various positions, it will fire off pistons to show how we want those to work. The only catch here, and you can see I was very careful, I'm not attaching any of this to the building, is we're gonna do a little monkeying around with the pistons, and we may need to do some welding, and we're just gonna put it right back where it is now. Exactly that, right? So now, this one needs to be a 3, this one is our 6, this one is our 12. And it's the magic combination of these that's going to equal the crops down below. So we've got a little wiring to do, of course, to make that happen. We really want the first one, the 3, this little guy. He's going to go when this first chain is on. And the second one is going to fire when the second guy is on. So that's a 3, and that's a 6. And when they're both on, it'll go to a 9, which is exactly what we want. That's a 3, a 6, and then a 9. They'll start at 0, then I go 3, then I go 6, then they'll both be on as a 9, and then they'll switch over to the next one, which is our 12. And when this 12 is on, is when we want the 12 to fire, like so. We've done a little fiddling with the system, and after making a few adjustments, I think we've settled on something that's very workable. You know, programmers have spaghetti code, and I think this is probably the same thing. I'm sure there's a more efficient way to do this. However, this system seems to be working. The solution I have for it is to work in 2 systems. So when the switch is thrown, it begins, of course, activating the process for the memory to be working. It's not necessarily attached to it because it can be in any position, and when you start the on switch, it'll start planting from that position. So we have a nice manual button. I'm going to keep this. I like it. Nice, fun way to adjust where we're planting at. And then when we throw the switch, the controller just slowly takes it out and then brings it back in. We'll loop it, and it goes back and forth. But as it does so, it's going to have these sensors up here. And when it goes out to the end, this sensor will click it over, and it will click the memory on, and it'll move over a row. So I turn it on. It just makes its merry little way. It pauses at the half point, and then it continues until it gets to the end. Memory was triggered there when it got to the end by the sensor, and now it's really waiting on the controller programming. I have it just to hold the pause. I want to make sure it has plenty of time to move over. This isn't something that we need to be fast, and it brings it back nice and slow. And let's hook up some water and see what kind of coverage. That'll be, it'll help us test out any other fine tuning as necessary. I'm like, because we don't have, I see the sensor here. I'm like, oh, that should be hooked up, but that's exactly what we're doing now. Is we're trying to hook up these sensors. Okay, so one thing I already want to make sure we're doing is like those little catches and things, those are opportunities for disaster. So before we go any further, I'm going to turn the system off, let it work its way to reset. But I don't know if you saw it there, but just even as I turned it off, it wiggled back and forth. We're going to put up safety rails. And in here we have, we can check it here. We get real easy and cheap off the little buildings. The ruins are these durability 3 net blocks. Right, it's not durability, I'm like, it's friction. It's friction 3 net blocks, and that's what we're looking for, because if we're looking at the regular metal, it's 4. So even going to these cheap and free ones, it's better. It should keep everything in place. And this low friction block hopefully allows it to stay there. All right, rails are up. They kind of look cool. No complaints about that. Test everything, every step, test. You will regret it. You don't. And we got our button to play with the memory. I'm really happy how the memory is working. I'm excited. I got it to stop at exactly 5. I think that's really exciting. So, you know, nerd stuff. If you're into programming, and if you're into programming by visual code, I don't know what you call that. It's some pretty basic level coding with just ands and ors, but it does work. I do want to get this painted. More lights in here. Cosmetics now are starting to strike me. We put those guardrails up, and I started to get excited. Let's get to the fun part. To water. We still have the same situation where we need to make sure that it's hitting on our markers. You know, we've got these sensors that are detecting those, just like we did on the prior tier of watering system before we got this complicated. What we'll want to do is tie this in to the water spurt, so we're going to need it, and when it's on both sensors. Let's go ahead and tie that in. So I guess I'll put it down right there. All right, and I'll get us some paint. That's what I can do to help make this make sense to even myself as I try to do maintenance on it. So basically, what I want to have happen when we're on both sensors, either one of these, and it's both, I have an and here. So when both of these are hit and the system is on, so we'll want to make sure the on switch is activated. I can add a separate switch for watering later if we want to turn watering on and off, make it more complicated, but let's get this finished. So when all these are activated, then we can activate a squirt to the water cannon. And another, is that the right one? Yeah. And a squirt to the other water cannon. Boom. So there, those should work every time our sensors are activated on either X or Y, and they're both there, they'll fire, and those will go. Now, next thing they need is just good old-fashioned water. We'll run it back here. There we go. So now in theory, every time in the center of every pad, it should water every crop. And I'm excited. Here's our trial run. The system is off. We're reset to 0. The only thing I'm missing is a good window. Oh, and we're out of water. I'm like, what is happening? So another reason we have this gate here is to make sure that whenever we draw water, we turn on the pump. And I didn't tie the system to it, so when I turned it on, I also need to make sure we turn on the water pumps like that. There we go. And that little guy, he pulls in water fast. So even with the system running, and you can see it kind of goes up and down, it's going to catch up. But for now, I think we're dialed in. I'm ready to try a test. Crossing our fingers. We are, the memory's all reset. We're going to just turn it on. And I'm hearing water. Oh, I've got one watering and the other one not watering. And oh, this one's not set. It's not tied into the trigger. Yeah, one of those things when we redid it. So there we go. Now it's tied to the trigger. And there we go. Instantly, it's right back on track again. This is great. And the first one, which was on trigger, has not missed a single plot. It is proving itself to be as reliable as promised. And there you have it, a fully automated watering system. It tracks to the row, to the target. It does each row up and down twice so that we make sure everything is fully covered. It doesn't waste water. You know, we're not like pumping out more water than we're using. So even a single pump is able to handle both of these really well. And once we get some real big crops in here, we're really going to be stirring up some trouble with the locals, we'll call it. It's working perfectly. That is great. There you have it, a fully automated watering system, complete with memory. It's got a 1-bit generator, so we can make sure we're clean on the memory use. Of course, we've created a lot of spaghetti code in the process, but for reasons. It's a smart system, and I look forward to expanding on it in the future. So I thank you very much for watching us build together the watering system, and I appreciate your subscription and your like, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Thank you. Welcome back to Online Game Freaks. This is Freaks, and in today's video, we're going to show you how to get Tier 2 crops just like these with just your Tier 1 crops and the actual packaging process that you'll need to turn them into the trader. So thanks for joining. I appreciate you being here and joining us for our ongoing quest for a level 10 raid on the 3rd night, which is as tough as it can get. And we'll see if we can protect not only these, but a whole field of crops, as well as our whole village. And this is our farm here. It has at least 100 crops, a little more. There's some gaps because in the last episode, I built the automated watering system, and it's with 2 water pumps. We were able to handle all 100 crops just fine. I looked, it had a limiter, and it was like, I actually had to do a math thing. I had this nice binary counter, and I was able to count to 5, and I had a limiter that said, okay, count to 5 and stop and reset. And I'm like, well, if I remove that, it'll count all the way to 8. And with just a little bit of more metal, I could get the full 160 crops instead of just 100. Therefore, output's higher, for what we're planting. We're going to get big raids anyway. So I might as well get the most I can out of the watering system. So I spent a little time, I expanded it. Now left some gaps, of course. We'll need to fill up with soil as we find some. Took out his fence. I hope he doesn't mind. Here's this little, I guess it's like a downed ship, perhaps. I don't know if those are engines or if it's just a weird looking factory. It's hard to tell. All right, let's see what he wants. Oh, ooh, freebies. Okay, don't get distracted by squirrels. All right, all kinds of stuff for trade. We have nothing turned in. Orange. So then we look at the seeds. So for that, we need 3 tomatoes to get orange seeds. And then we need 3, what are these? These are beets. Okay, sorry, it's just not my favorite vegetable. I block it out. But we need 3 beet crates to get these. So we need beets and tomatoes, basically. And bananas, just because they're good, carrots. So basically, we need to plant our tier 1 crops. We need 3 of each, and that'll allow us to get to the tier 2 crops. We'll try to find a balance between what we can defend and the speed at which we can grow these. So for now, let's go ahead and grab our freebies. And I guess we got some farming to do. Okay, don't mind the driving. One more. Okay, yeah, perfect. Just like I meant to. I don't know. I'm gonna grab more seeds than I need just to make sure I've got enough. I'm gonna do 20 seeds of each, and really hope we can hold on to the farm. Carrots done. Beets here. And you can see why I start with auto watering, because the planting and harvesting is just super easy. Harvesting is even easier to do manually, so it's just not a problem. Okay, now we're gonna do the tomatoes, and that's gonna be a big enough raid. I don't know what we've done, so hopefully this doesn't destroy everything, because I don't know where they'll break the defenses first. It's a large area to defend when you don't have any range. We just got to hit them with a hammer. So there's going to be a little bit of running around. Hopefully not too bad. It is tier 1. These won't be as bad as when we start planting the oranges and blueberries to get our spud guns. Let's go ahead and do some exploring. We got to keep a lookout for the raid that we definitely must get back before that raid starts. I have no idea what a 60 crop raid's going to be. But it being tier 1, I do hope, I hope for the best, but that is not really the best method of surviving these things. All right, little nighttime adventure. That's okay. Ooh, we can spot the chest easier at night. That is definitely true. And I think we're pretty in between the packing plants. Yeah. Oh, component kit and a bearing. Runner not empty. Huge song from the 70s. Oh, ow. Oh, you knocked me right off the building. Oh, this guy's got some aim. Whew, must have been powered by that component kit. Need to slow down a second. Just get my act together. See? Oh. Dos muchachos. Yikes. Oh, he got me. This is not good. Run. I'm not good. Okay, just run away for a second. Just get your shit together. Okay. Here we go. It's a little open ground. A little backward strafing. Whew. You made me hungry. Oh, revenge. Oh. Hey man, it wasn't me. It was the other scrap mechanics. Man. Anybody else? The guy eat a carrot in peace? Now I know how Bugs Bunny feels, man. You just start sitting there, mind your own business, drawing fake driveways on walls for people to run through, eating a carrot, and you get attacked. The luck I'm having on the component kits this run, still good. You know, I gotta not say that. If the developers ever catch me saying I'm happy with the component kit drops, then nerf it. There'll be pitchforks at my door. Okay, there, jump around that a little bit. We're clear what we can reach. Now it's the magic toilet time. And try to remember where it goes, where you don't get locked into the the stuff somewhere. I don't know. This is always a gamble. And the second part is, even if it works perfectly, and it worked. Oh, it worked. Even if it works perfectly, I remember to get that toilet seat. So hopefully, by having to explain it to you, it will help me remember my end. Oh, okay. All right, that's good. What? Oh man, what time is it? What time is it? 1:28. Did I plant the crops right before a raid and then just drive away from it, and now the raid is happening and I'm not there? Oh, this could be so bad. We're gonna come flying in sideways to a raid. Oh, mistakes were made. Oh, mistakes were made. Oh, this is one of those. This could be bad. My only chance is I gotta come in fast enough that they spawn just in front of me, but I'm fast enough to get in front of them. We're just gonna have to dump the car and run. Oh, I see the antennas. Okay, so far it's lots of little totes. I just gotta draw some aggro and hope they're not in the farm yet. Because there's holes in the fence. Like, he could have walked right around that. Here, oh yeah, these two. Get out, out. Ooh. Okay, get out of here. So far, all right, anybody else? Oh, we got a breach. Off. I don't hear anybody else but this. Oh, we got a haybot. No, sir. Oh, we got more haybots behind him. The fence is holding, but it won't forever. No, that's a big hole. Yeah, and they got some reach. Oh, wow. Why are you just attacking the fence? I appreciate it. Don't go for the farm. No, don't. Oh, hey. Easy on the buildings. Oh, somebody took out a pole. Turn this off so I can hear. It's quiet. Okay. That's good. All we can hear is the farmer screaming for help. We got you, buddy. That's it. Oh, man. I really wish I had been here instead of just wandering off right before dark. I don't know what I was thinking. We pulled it off. Barely. Yeah, buddy, I'd be screaming for help too with this kind of management. Okay. It doesn't have to be that exciting. I don't know why I didn't bother to, like, think about what time it was. It's like one of the basics. Like, you plant, like, right after midnight, as early in the morning as you possibly can. Yeah, look at this damage. Still got a pole here. Nice breakthrough here. And that's okay. I'll repair these with better materials. Every time they make a hole, I'll make it slightly tougher. Maybe we'll do an episode on just base improvements. We're definitely going to go over some base traps. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's just gorgeous. Let me get up here and take a peek. Crops are looking great. We've got 60 of them lined up, ready to harvest. This is beautiful. Get up. You know, I didn't build this for me to actually traverse. Maybe I should have thought about that a little bit. Okay, this looks great. Yeah, I can't wait to actually get a full 160 crops in here. That's just going to be amazing. Each watering system taking care of 80 crops each flawlessly. Perhaps I should have been a spacefaring farmer. Anyway, let's get this stuff harvested. We're going to pause after these are done. Make sure we don't build up the raids. It's already going to be a night 2 raid, and the last one already had 3 haybots. I don't know. They may head to here, or they may just start banging on the first thing they run into since there's no plants. Next step, let's head over to the packing station and see what we can do about getting these turned into crates. And we've arrived. This is the packing station. The way it works is we've got to feed into these tubes the right produce. You know, tomatoes, beets, broccoli, carrots. Now, we got to line up with these little guys here. To do that, we use the vacuum pumps. Now, conveniently, all along, we've had this vacuum pump that I've been using to pull out water, not water so much, but definitely oil and chemicals. And it's real easy, and it's been sucking them in. So, it's been very effective, but it has this dual purpose. And one of the reasons I've just left it here sticking out the side is I'm hoping And I don't know how it's going to work with this tire. Maybe a small adjustment. We can figure it out. But what we're going to do is line it up here, and we're going to shoot in the right vegetable into it using the button. And so just to be sure, I'm going to take everything out of here that is not of the vegetables. And we're going to try to line up with, I don't know, tomatoes. Let's try to see what we can do to tomatoes. And what we're also going to do is we flip this. Now it's going to go out. So when we activate, and let's go ahead and remove the switch. And we're going to put it on the button so we can just do them one at a time to make sure we're not getting out of sync or we're overflowing it. And we can park the car, but you guys have seen how I drive. So what we're going to do is park with the lift right next to it. I'm gonna try to line it up. We'll adjust it. We'll get it off the lift to do that even. Oh, there it is. See how it pulls in? That's what we're looking for. I think it's ready to receive. Blue, these are green. See, we should be armed, lined up. Now what we can do, and I can hit it manually standing here. Actually, that might be better for the view. Is it will, well, it's gonna, there's a counter here. So I'm gonna hit the switch. It pumps in a tomato and the counter goes up. Let me back up. That way we can see all of this at once. And we just keep going through. And when it gets to 10, and you don't do it too fast, because you see how it's resetting, it needs a second here. If I had clicked it too fast, it would have shot a tomato in it, but it wouldn't have counted and wasted the tomato. And normally the smart thing, of course, would be to have a few extra tomatoes just in case. I don't have any, so I need to make sure every tomato counts. But the part you didn't see, because we were focused on that part of it, and we'll show it next time, is it kicked out, and it actually, it's fun to watch. It launched one of these containers over here. And what we have is our tomato crate. So what we need is a few of these. We're gonna box them all up and take them over to the trader. This is what he accepts as currency for his products. So makes a crate in there, and it slides it out, and kicks it out on the platform. And done. So now we're done with those. We got one more, I think, tomato crate. There we go, last one. That packages all that up for us and spits it out. So those are the tomatoes. So now we do the same thing with the other two. That one slid nicely into place. And there we go, that's all our crates. Now the fun part is we got to bring these over to the trader. He's right around the back here. But we got to get them all, and they're heavy. They're big, heavy crates. So the trick here, it's not pretty, but basically you just slap them on your car. And as long as you've got a strong enough engine, and I do think I'm going to need to go into first person to do this, but as long as you got a strong enough engine, you can just slap them on your car, keep it balanced, so you get all the traction you need. But if you spread them around even both sides, you'll get there. It may not be pretty, but you'll get there. Keep them off the tires. You'll want to keep it so you can see, keep that in mind as you're stacking them. I don't know how many total I had. I didn't do the math ahead of time, which is unlike me, but we should be able to get them on there. So there we go, fully loaded. We've got all our crates on it that we needed. I can access it, and we'll see how she drives. Hey, it's great. It's not bad at all. It's got rails. If it does tip a little bit, the crates will actually catch you a little. So that can be beneficial. I don't recommend going crazy with it, but you know, a little bit of tippy tip won't be too bad. It'll right itself. Find yourself a smooth way to the trader, and we're gold. Now, I do agree, it would be really handy. Sorry, walk. You gotta get a little speed going up the hill. It would be good to have a trailer to pull all this, but I'm finding my truck actually is not doing too bad handling it. But we want to have some bigger loads. When we get all of those produce planted, when we're able to defend it, we're going to have big loads of produce that we'll be able to bring back, and that'll actually help us speed up building the defenses to get ready for that big tier 10 raid. Because we're going to have to deal with some smaller raids before we get to the big guy, and maybe a lot of them. We've arrived with our produce centipede, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. Oh, yes. And now we just vacuum pump this to places unknown. It goes underground. There are many rumors about what actually happens when this goes underground. What is he doing with the food? It's the same place the farmer goes. He's treated with the same amount of respect. He just gets sucked up into the thing. He goes into the tube and he goes down, and we never see him again. And all we know is that this guy over here, he's like, hey, good job for the stuff. All right, let's see what he gives us for credit. And there it is. We've got 4 beet stacks, 4 tomatoes, and 3 of the carrots. All that, and that was one trip with the farm that we'd set up, so it went pretty quick. There was a couple. I had a couple stacks already ready to go just from previous farming, which really did help. But here we are. We can now get oranges, so accomplished. We can get blueberries, accomplished. And, oh, the bananas is another tier up, so I definitely want to get those. So it takes care of the carrots. Is there anything I can get for 1 beet, 1 tomato? I think, look at my options. I'm going to get this ammo container. I didn't know I'd get one so soon, but that's good. It's actually going to be part of the base defenses. And, I don't want to go through some spoilers, but hey, it's good to have potato ammo containers. All right, no free seeds, but we're in good shape. I'm excited that we've got those taken care of, and we're well on our way. We got all the extra tier 2 seeds. So now we just got to get them in the ground. Get the spud gun. We need to turn in 2 crates of oranges, 2 crates of blueberries, and a farmer. So then we look at the seeds. So for that, we need 3 tomatoes to get orange seeds, and then we need 3 beet crates to get these. So we need beets and tomatoes. And defenses are good, so we have these mounted spud guns. Oh, okay. And very similar. They want the next tier crop. So the mounted spud gun, and it's not too bad. 1 blueberry, 2 bananas. Let's get this stuff harvested. We're going to pause after these are done. Make sure we don't build up the raids. This is the packing station, and the way it works is we've got to feed into these tubes the right produce. You know, tomatoes, beets, broccoli, carrots. And we got to line up with these little guys here. So I'm going to hit the switch. It pumps in a tomato, and the counter goes up. It launched one of these containers over here. And what we have is our tomato crater. This is what he accepts as currency for his products. So the trick here, it's not pretty, but basically you just slap them on your car. Oh yes, and now we just vacuum pump this to places under, it goes underground. Right, we can now get oranges, accomplished. We can get blueberries, accomplished. Well, we'll just start the corner. Get these blueberries down. I'm getting the nervousness now. How bad can it be? Just finish out the row with some tomatoes. Oop, I missed one. All right, there we go. I don't dare put down any more. I'm already worried that we're gonna have a lot of haybots with that. And this tree, I love it, but it's blocking my visibility. I need to be able to see. Sorry all you tree lovers. It finally went, and we're watered. And the best news of all is I finally got some toilet paper. And then we put that on, look at that. Boop. Oh yeah. It's an armrest. It's nice and close. I got the spare next to the plant, the poor plant. Good run. Now all we need to do in 7 minutes, we're gonna have, I'm hoping, some sort of raid we can handle. I don't know. We'll see. Actually, I got tons of this stone. I know it's not strong, but it will slow them down. They will have to actually hit it to break it. The name of the game here is slow them down. Just about raid time. We've got 30 seconds left. I started this door for protection, and I didn't even get a chance to put a controller on it. We're just gonna have to make do with what we got. We do have higher tier, and they're not grown. It's very critical. Hang in there, guy. I know this might be rough. Oh, I can hear it. Yeah, here we go. And I'm gonna go for the haybots first. They really do the most damage. Give them a little distance. Try to outrange them. Our enemy is just the distance of the wall. We need more defenders. Take out the little guy. Don't have time. Work the wall. We did get a complete surrounding. He made a little breach there. So as long as we don't have any breaches, we can hold him at the outside perimeter. Mash in that sprint key. All right, this little guy's persistent, but he had a metal spot. There we go. Nice. And that's great news. The wall helped. That's really good. Phew, I can inhale. Okay. I was worried it's going to be worse with the extra crops in there. What I am going to do, sometimes the longer in there, a little extra squirt of water doesn't hurt. So I'm going to clean that up, let the water system run. We're going to call that a nice big win. That's really good news. The raids here and the crops are, I'm going to try to grab all these really good crops first, just priority. I don't see him banging on the door yet. Oh, I didn't realize I'd have this much inventory. That's great. There we go. He's almost through. Yep, that hurt. For your buddies. It's not that there's any one of them is difficult. It's just there's many of them, and if they start racing through. Oh, I see an antenna over here. Somebody got through. There's a hole in the fence. Oh boy, he just got through. Oh, hung up on the pole. That won't hold him. Ow! 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 It took out my extremely flimsy gate. Shocker. Quieter, but it's such a big area to cover. Yeah, this guy back here. Oh, dang. One swing, it looks like he took out 3 of them. Rude. Check on the farm. I think I still hear banging somewhere. Knock it off. Getting some of these crops knocked out so we can get to that spud gun. It was close. We did lose a little bit of wall, but you know, I'm not going to sweat that. That's what it's there for. And look at that. Before, we went from 5 seeds to 12 on the blueberries, and the oranges, we went from 5 seeds to 8. We can do a bigger run next time, but of course, the more of these we plant, the harder the raids are going to get. We have to be very careful with how far we push planting the oranges and the blueberries. Very good, successful yield. I'm not going to plant them again. We're going to have to skip a night to make sure that we don't pull in a raid that is too big for us to handle with our little hammer, and then we'll start again. So we'll just park those for now. We'll let the field rest, go fallow, as they say, find something safer to do. We can complete, you know, because they're still going to be coming in here, so we can continue our defenses. I got a nice vault door now, a little button-operated action, a simple XOR gate with a couple of switches and a controller that flips at a mere 90 degrees. It's slow. We can speed that up with the upgrades. I'm not sure I want to spend the component kits just on the door where I could, be slightly patient. So far, I'm that patient. We'll see how long that lasts. But I think for right now, I'm going to do a little bit, just mining. I think I need some materials. I need some iron, or our tier 1 metal, and if you will. So let me get that knocked out, and I'll get back to this in a moment. I'll just show you how mine performs. I'm not claiming it's the best. It just is how mine mines. It's a simple 1 collector. You drive up to it, you hit it with the drills, and you hope for the best. I've got a piston on the center one just to kind of help it grip. They're not angled yet. That would be an upgrade, of course. So I basically just brute force it. I spend a lot of gas driving awkwardly around it. This one's on a hill, which I've been trying to avoid, but just for the giggles, I thought I'd go for it. It does the job. You gotta drive around a little bit, and I don't mind. And if I get like this, I just turn them off, be a little gas efficient, line myself up for the better shot. There's no avoiding these hills, and there's lots of really good contraptions you can build to address it. And maybe we'll get around to it. But for now, I'm really just doing this so I can get some raw resources, help defend my base now that we're dealing with tier 2 crops. Getting up on raid time. I did sneak in a few extra crops there, just 4 blueberries and 4 oranges, just thinking that maybe if I kept it real low, it wouldn't call a raid. Well, I was wrong. It turns out it does. And maybe it was because it was the second night. It was already warmed up for a raid. I'm not sure. But either way, we've got one here in a couple of minutes. It's so much better, of course, if I had a spud gun. My defense with the hammer is slow. I got to work the whole perimeter, and it's a little dangerous. Put him up there, close the gates. Not a strong area. And I threw a little just the cheapest stone around this. All right, at least the crops are ready. I threw a little fertilizer on them to, get them going really fast. I think that was a smart move, because the raid will be here in 5, 4, 3. And here they come. See your little antennas. I don't see farm bots though. That's great news. Maybe it's just because I kept it to just 8 crops. Just 4 little blueberries, 4 little oranges. We can handle tote bots all day. No harm, no foul. That was absolutely brilliant. We got a few more oranges out of the way, a few more blueberries. I know at this pace it would take forever, but it keeps us from getting blown up and losing everything. Or I'm gonna risk a 5, and then the second one goes here. 3. Man, I'm gonna keep it to 8. I think it was one of the reasons we got so few tote bots. Yeah, I don't know. 2 plants may not be worth it. I'm not gonna risk everything to get, just because I wanted to plant 2 more crops. So I modified the truck so I can get this farmer in here that I found in one of the forests, pack him up. We closed the tailgate and now he's ready for us. We can take him with us to the packaging plant. Got our vegetables. We've got 26 or so blueberries. We've got our 20 plus oranges, and we packed up our farmer in my slightly modified truck. I've got a little switch here for the tailgate to come up and down, and that allows us to take him with us and to roll him up. He's just happy as could be back there as we're just scooting along. And this is the correct packing station here. This is the one we're looking for. I think it's got bananas up there on the label. You can see that, and you can see here it's got fruit instead of vegetables. Bananas, blueberries, oranges, and pineapple. And we're looking for blueberries and all right. Oh, and that's the bad thing about the farmer is I cannot put this on the lift. We're gonna have to rely on good driving, which not been something I've really proven much of. Understand any skepticism. So it could view so we can see the show. I do think it's kind of cool how it packages it up. First the crate comes out, then the fruit goes in it, all packed up, and launch. And then hit it again, launch. There we go. Now, here's something to note too. You don't have to leave it filled. As you notice, it fills up as you go. So I've got 26. I can pump a few more in there just to have it preloaded with a few more for the next time. We're gonna go to the blueberries, do the same thing. There we go. Let's watch it make some blueberries in there. Nice. Bling. Too bad we're just 1 short, but that's okay. It looks good. We've got some built up, ready to go for next time. Now we just need to take these 4 with us in our farmer, and we have all we need to get our first spud gun. Is that a yellow chest? That's a yellow. It's dark out. I could be fooled, but that looks like a yellow chest. We're gonna check it out. It is in the middle of a green field, right next to the packing plant. Glass, all right, little garment box. I'm actually pretty excited about finishing this part of it. Once you get your spud gun, it unlocks a great amount of the game. It's dangerous to do out. The big one being the warehouses. You really can have some fun in there. It allows us, hopefully with a successful warehouse run, we can get to the highest end crops, and that's going to help us get to our tier 10. A lot of hard work. Tier 2 crops, there goes the farmer. Our blueberry and our oranges. The big moment. Oh, I didn't bring any spuds. I should have brought some spuds, but that's okay. Hello. If you wouldn't mind, sir, I would like this spud gun, this shiny spud gun, to go. Okay. Okay. He's on board. He said okay. So let's pull this bad boy out. This now finds a new permanent home on the hotbar. We're going to put it at number 2. I still do use the hammer more than anything. But everybody else is just going to move down. And here we go. A shiny new spud gun. We've done it. Let's shoot the switch. There we go. We officially are armed. We've completed our human hostage for weapons trade deal, and we are now ready to take on a higher end raid. Excellent. This is couldn't be better news. Speaking of, I don't know if we're having a raid back home or not. That might be the really good chance to test out this spud gun. Let's see what's going on. It does look like we've got a bit of a little raid here going on, but we can take care of this, no problem. Yeah, bring it. Is that all you guys got? Still have the same problem. It's a lot to cover, a lot of area to cover. Even though I've got the range now, it's just a matter of time before they get in there. And if they outnumber me, of course, they always will. Makes it harder. Here we go. Spud gun paying off. We turned that into very quick work. That's great news. for all around that we're able to pull the spud gun at this point. And we are weaponized. Cheers, one and all. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next installment of our Scrap Mechanic Survival playthrough. Thank you. Welcome to Online Game Freaks. This is Freaks, and thank you for joining us for our continuing quest to try to beat the highest level raid in Scrap Mechanic. And as you can see, our farm is progressing nicely, and we now have in our hands a spud gun. So, of course, this means the whole game has become just a touch safer. However, we do have goals to attend to. So the next step for us to get to the level 10 raid is we got to get the new level crops, the highest level crops. And to get those, we need the seeds. And the seeds are hidden in warehouses. And you can actually see a couple of warehouses here and here from our base. And that'll be our next large goal, but you can't just run in there and just take a warehouse just because you got a spud gun. You want to be able to do so successfully. Perhaps if you were an elite first-person shooter and you never miss, perhaps you can just run right in there. But we're going to need a few things first. Let's go take a look. We'll do a little reconnaissance, if you will. We're going to go full Ocean's 11 on this. We're going to scout around a little bit, make sure there are no surprises. And the reason is it's resource intensive. If you keep dying, you're going through your spuds, you're running up and down, you're eating a lot of your food. We definitely want to make sure we go about this like, well, just give ourselves the greatest chance of success. And I'm going to park well outside of it, just for recon even. We want to make sure that we are respawning in the car. Several things here that we need to check out. One is, where are the tape bots? Where is the elevator door? And where is the farm bot, if there's a farm bot? Oh, no, it's a red tree. I got nervous there, because they could be anywhere. They could be anywhere, and sometimes you don't know they're there until they're shooting at you. All right, there's a chest, which is a good sign. I hear bots. Oh, geez, right there. Right there. Always give them a double tap. Some of them take one shot, some take two. They're like, that one didn't have tape on it. I think those are non-armored, but there's some that have tape all over them, and they take an extra hit. Oh, right there. Yeah, like he's got tape all over him. Oh, okay, he did go with one shot, so who knows? Maybe just sometimes I miss and I think I hit. Good news, tape bot. Oh, run. Good news, tape bots go down with a hit. Bad news is they hit really hard. Okay, that was one shot. And you can see it took almost half my health. He got me. All right, a draw then. See, we thought ahead. It's almost like I knew that might happen. And this is also, again, why recon is so important. Oh man, my loot fingers just can't leave this alone. Oh, and there's potatoes. We definitely need those. Look at that. I missed them. I'm going off mission every time I chase one down a chest, but I can't leave them alone. Oh, I saw the tope bot, but I did not see the tape bot. Oh, what? You guys are gonna get me killed. I don't think that tape bot saw me though. Sniper shot. Nice. Oh, and that is the elevator behind him. Whoa, whoa, run! Oh, now I'm in trouble. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Ah! You like that? Here's one of our objectives, the elevator. As you can see, it needs a key. And I don't have a key. And that's why I'm looking for the farm bot. They can be found in various places. Sometimes they hang out underneath the warehouse themselves. But sometimes they're in open fields or in the woods. Oh, shoot skis. That was just panic firing, but it worked. Oh. Did I get him? Did I get him? Yeah. Not that far away from the base. Was not expecting a tape bot out in the grass. That may have been the last one. I did a full sweep. I did not see a farm bot anywhere, so we'll get our key somewhere else. There's a secondary purpose. If you come here, you can actually see these things are lootable. This metal's lootable. It's garbage, but it's free, and there's a lot of it. So if you just got something quick and easy you need to build, you can grab huge chunks of it these poles, these brackets, what is it? This one's full of rocks. There you go. And the pallets that they're on. Pallet of sticks, sure. These are nice components. I'm gonna put them into place for aesthetics. They're very breakable. Don't count them on protecting from anything. These are fragile for cosmetic purposes only. And they don't stack, so keep an eye on your inventory. You get full of those, you're not gonna get the good stuff. A little mission accomplished. Did establish that we're gonna have to get a key somewhere else. That was one of the big tests, and I'm glad we checked. Instead of trying to avoid the big nasty farm bots, we're gonna have to find one and take them out. I've been looking for a farm bot, and I finally just decided to take a look at another warehouse. This one is 3 stories, I believe, or maybe another 2. Looking around a little bit, I found our target. Crikey, I can hear him over there. Ah, there he is. Look at him. All right, now, we don't want to disturb him. We just want to give him a little tickle. It's from as far away as possible. I'm going to back all the way up. It's going to take us about 50 potatoes to bring this big lubber down. All right, he's stuck around the corner, but that's all right. We'll get a better angle on him anyway. Here we go. It's a good range away if we can just get line of sight on him. Oh, there's the fat bugger. All right, here we go. Now, the plan is you just pluck him from every spud you got. Your brain, he's got nothing in him by the time he gets to you. And that's your thought that behind you. Oh, crikey. We're on the run now. He's got to be close, though. He's got to be just pelted full of potatoes. Ah, there it is. Oh, no, he blows. And there it is. All right, here we go. So we grab the warehouse key and the circuit board. They usually drop component kits. I gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed in that. The second part of our preparation is done. So now we can get into one warehouse door, and that's it. Each key is expendable. When you put it in, it stays there, and you have to get another key to get into a different warehouse. Let's get back to our checklist, because one of the next things on the list that we have to take care of is spud ammo. We, as you can tell already, just driving around doing our missions, we're going through a lot of spuds. We need to plant some spuds, get them in the ground, and kind of keep that going for a bit so we can get a big stockpile up. Going into the warehouses, you'll have spuds on you. If you die, the spuds stay on you. You'll need extras in the truck if you die again, etc. So you'll want to get a good stockpile in case you run into a tricky tape bot. We'll want to get that going, and we can do that, of course, while we're doing other things. Tip shared with me, one I'm aware of, and I just never follow because I'm just never watching the clock, is if you plant right after midnight, you can get the crops in before the raid hits, and it makes that raid easier. But it's 3 o'clock. I'm gonna call it good enough for the way I run things, and we're gonna get things planted. But just don't always do things the easiest way. And I also don't mind the free delivery of component kits, circuit boards, and metal that comes with robot raids. Now I'm gonna put a lot down, and I hope I can hold it without too much damage to our base. That running, we can look at the next thing that we need on our list, the food. We definitely want to make sure we get a good amount of burgers. It's just because they heal, feed you, get all the water in you all at once. If you're in the heat of combat, it's as good as a health potion. To get the cook bot, we need to have 50 tier 2 metal. So how are we doing that? Oh, we're doing great on the tier 2 metal. We need 10 circuit boards. I have plenty of circuit boards, and we need 10 component kits, which I never have enough of. We're looking really rough on component kits. I have 1 component kit in my inventory, and that is it. Done. And it's a circuit board. Okay. Although that is fun, it doesn't seem to be as productive as it could be. So let's check out a tower. Ooh, denied. Where are you going? Think you got the high ground? Is that what's going on, Obi-Wan? I bailed you not. Right, I'm not messing with you. Yeah, see? Yeah, friends. Not doing it. Alright, one guy. Flawless victory. It's starting to get dark. I really need to get this moving. I gotta make sure I can get back to base in time. I'm not far away. You can see I'm right there, but I'm just short of my goal. I'd like to knock out the component kit part of this. Oh, I did. We did it. Okay. Mission accomplished. We get, all right, we get a free extra one. We'll work our way back to base and defend the crops. Hopefully we'll get tons of potatoes. Because we are short. How are we doing? I've got 26 potatoes to defend our crops. So I'm going to have to be, I don't know. Headshots don't do any more damage than anything else. So I just got to make sure I don't waste any potatoes. I have noticed there's a few consistent spots they do attack by. And I think that's going to tell us where we're going to set up some of our first automated defenses. Like here, this is a spot they attack a lot. Every place I reinforce repeatedly, I'm like, okay, definitely need some saw blades here, a spinny trap, a flippy trap, a throwy trap, an explosive, I don't know. Well, all the above, but I can definitely tell there's the algorithm, whatever, is picking consistent places. And I'm starting to mark them, or they naturally get marked when the bots attack. Countdown's on, here we go. 3, 2, 1. And cue the bots. Cue the bots. Yep, here we go. Oh no, oh, it's my wall. You stole my wall. Oh, he broke. Oh, he hopped right over. He got on a leg and jumped over. Wall needs some sort of void. Oh, don't take out the wall. I've only got a few shots left, so I'm saving in case something breaks through. We really need the harvest from the crops that are in the pen right now before I can start going really crazy on shooting things. It's a lot of seeds. Yeah, you don't worry about me, just some guy fixing a few of your parts there. And I think this is our last one. To make sure nobody hopped over like that topot over there. Ow, ow. Done. And it's quiet again, I think. A little sweep, make sure nobody got through. We are back at the mechanic station because with a little bit of grinding, we have what we need to get our cookbot. And just wouldn't be, you just can't visit here without saying hello to this guy. He's always in these little pods, contemplating his robotness. I'd just like to stop by, just welcome him. So in our chest, what we have are the component kits, circuit boards, and the metal we need, hopefully to get 2 of these cookbots. But with inflation and tariffs, you know, who knows what prices may have gone up. Here we go, cookbot. There's 1, and there's, oh, I can't hit 2 because it's still cooking. It's still cooking, the cookbot. It'll pop right out of there and drop on the floor. Kind of unceremonious. Oof. Sorry, buddy, but you won't be alone. So, we'll get you a buddy here. Very nice. So we've got all, the only thing left is the dress bot. I don't need that right now. Not critical to raiding a warehouse, but will be fun to get in the future. Keep an eye on that metal 3. Oh, just in time as he drops on his buddy there. And these are great. And they're the cutest thing, too. Look at that. Where do you want to sit for the trip home, buddy? It's quick. There you go. You can be the tail gunner cookbot. Get your buddy. So let's make a veggie burger. Got all the ingredients and crap. And this is the thing, it takes a while. This is why we got 2. It one at a time. This is quite time consuming. So literally doubles the work, and you guys have fun. Let's head back to base, and we're gonna get you guys working in the kitchen. Don't mind my driving, guys. It's perfectly fine. Nothing to worry about. Here in my big building, it's kind of a project I've put up. I've got an upstairs, a little larger room. Caught on this thing. Sorry, dude. We'll get you up here. I do know what I'm doing. I just need a little more construction time. Okay, we'll get you here, facing front. Boom. What do you think of that guy? Huh? What do you think of the new place? All right, well, don't answer that, but thanks for the burgers. Oh, not those. I need the veggie burger. Yeah, get you back to work. Let me get your brother. There you go. Just like that. And I'll probably get some small chests under these guys to store food, because right now I'm just making burgers, and I have to hold up my inventory. This is great with the food, and already we're much more capable now for a warehouse raid. The food makes all the difference. So with this, in one click on it, it will raise all my stat. We'll go test a burger here. You can see I'm hungry and I'm thirsty. If I was wounded, I don't know if I can. Let's just try to get wounded real quick. I don't know if I'm even tall enough here to do that. Oh, there's blades on my car. Okay, kids, do not do this at home. This is for science. Okay, we're gonna, all right, yeah, okay, we can just hold it there for a second. Ow, ow, ooh, stings a little. Okay, yeah, all right, there we go. Whew. And then we're gonna have a burger. Look at that. We are fully healed. All the food, all the water, and all for the price of just some easy to grow crops. What do you think, guy? We're gonna have a little cook-off here. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do that. There we go. That looks. That's good. Oh, don't drop the thing, dude. This guy's doing much better than that. He definitely won this. All right, we're gonna have to come up with names. Maybe some people can help me figure that out, but for now, you guys are doing great. So we can put that on the checklist as done. I did sneak on a little bit of extra storage. That's another very important thing you're gonna wanna do when you do warehouse raids, is make sure you have plenty of storage. And in fact, I'm gonna put this crate here, because when we go in, we're gonna wanna carry this. It's because when you get in there, you have the ability to break things loose and carry some stuff out with you, and it's great. You can just grab a chest, fill it up, hold onto it, and exit the building. Extra storage is also on our checklist. There's one last thing that we need to get, and that final step involves doing a little bit of swimming. So I'll meet you guys over at the pond. Welcome to Online Game Freaks. This is Freaks, and today I am happy to share with you our plans to make explosives. And just to give you a little test of what we're trying to do, as you can see here, we have a small explosive, and we're just going to give it a little tap with our spud here, and there she goes. Man, I love the raining fire from the sky. It blew up the tree. For the most part, it left a couple of blocks just standing here on the edge. That's great. And the first step of making explosives actually comes from the strangest place that you would think of. It's actually underwater. You can see now that we're just at a pond, just downhill from the farm. We're right up there, and I walked down here, and there's a couple of reasons for that. We'll get to that in a minute. And it's nighttime, and that's also a helpful part of this as well, because the next thing that we're gonna do, we are going to learn how to make explosives. Yeah, that's the fun bit. So, but we're here at night because, as you can see in this lake, it's dark, but what we're looking for has a light, and I don't know if you can see it. You'll see it when we get closer, definitely, but there's a light that just blinks under the surface right there. You don't see in other places, and that's what we're looking for. Is that little guy, that little light, and he gets blocked by the plants. You gotta watch it, but at night you can see how he glows. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. Is this little guy, and he's just the cutest thing you ever saw. I gotta make sure I don't want to hit him. Okay, we got him. We picked him up. All right, and you can see him. He's just smiling at. He's as happy as can be. He's just the cutest. And the thing is, this is one of the reasons I also recommend you build your base near water. You want to be able to grab one of these. It's a part of the explosive making process, believe it or not. And they're a little tricky to transport in a vehicle. They bounce around, they'll drop out, or they'll just pop like balloons. So even though this is a little slow, it's safe. And I don't want our little guy to get hurt. I only saw one in this pond, and I would have to go further to get another one. So I'm gonna make this one count. And the only thing I do worry about is there's a haybot, because I can't sprint while I'm holding him. So we are at risk. I don't know the biology of a glowworm. I really don't. I don't know if once you take him out of water, if it helps to put him back in the water or not. We're gonna put him here for now. He can hang out in this little pond. Oh, he seems happy. Makes a little noise. All right, so I got distracted. Okay, so step 2 of making explosives, believe it or not, is cardboard. And to make that, we just gotta have some regular cheap wood, and we're gonna make ourselves, and you make 20 of it per 5, it's real cheap. We're gonna make a whole bunch of that real quick, and we're gonna feed it to our little buddy over here. And we can make feeders and all those other things, but for right now, we're just wanting to get our first set of explosives together, and I'm tempted to name him, but I know how these things go. He will... I fear for you, buddy. I fear for you. He's so cute. All right. So that's probably made some concrete. Let me grab that. Put him down here for now. But watch this. We're going to give him some cardboard, and he instantly just starts going to town. We're going to make him some nice cardboard boxes. This little guy, you just do your thing, buddy. There you go. Ooh, a little too close for you. Okay. Yeah, you enjoy all the cardboard. I do like how this cardboard shape, as you added it, like, kind of looks like it's making boxes. I don't know, it works. And there it is. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. This is glow poop. They call it glow, but I mean, let's face it, he pooped it. Okay, he pooped it. So with glow poop, they call it the glow, and but this is critical to making explosives. So you work on that, and then let's go look at the recipe. See how much of this glow poo we need to make explosives. Here we go. So there's a small and a large explosive, and we need 6 for a small and 8 for a large. So we're gonna need a lot of glow poop, and we also need paint, and that's good to know. I've got a little bit more, but not much, and it takes 5 each. But it looks like I've got to go picking flowers. Yeah, I got to go pick some flowers, but that's okay. Now we can do that while he's eating the cardboard. I'm gonna make him a little pin real quick. I don't think he can be. Oh, I think it needs to be one more down. Sometimes we can be in the water like that, but we can reach in and feed him and hug him and squeeze him. How you doing, buddy? You don't feel like pooping? You backed up a little bit, buddy? How you feeling? Who's a good little pooper? Oh, there it is. Who's a good boy? Okay, yeah, you keep it going. You do the pooping. Line this a little bit with cardboard. You gonna like your new home? You gonna like it? It's not as free range as this, but it looks like it's gonna be safer. I think when you have kids, you gotta cheer them on to poop in a toilet. You're like, yeah, you pooped. Who had a poopy? Who's a good little pooper? I can't sit around and just watch a glow bug poop all day. Let me move all the rest of the cardboard back over into our nuke enclosure so I can go pick flowers. I almost feel like I should have made it bigger. And I don't know what's gonna happen if like this breaks loose. And you don't want stuff to fall on them. They're very fragile, but I'll say it. If I come back, it wouldn't surprise me if he was squished to death by a piece of cardboard. Are we frightened? Is it just oops, see? There you go. Yeah, you're gonna like this place. All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna go find some flowers. Yeah, open field somewhere, lots of grass, barely an inconvenience. I went to go pick flowers. I come back, and I had a pretty good run. But he hasn't eaten anymore. Buddy, did you miss me? Are you depressed? What's going on? You just you can only reach those spots? Maybe I got too far, too many tiles away. I was running around just picking flowers. Yeah, it happened. I broke down and I built an auto feeder for our little friend here, and it just feeds him a little piece of cardboard as fast as he can eat it based on the timer, and he's fast. You can see how quickly he's putting him down. It doesn't build up. So wow, little glow bug. Got the munchies, little Pac-Man bug. But this is great. We can just let him play. Oops. We can just let him live here in his little cage. Oh, and I got him a present, so we can put we'll put a little shell in there for him. Make him feel like he's at home. Okay. We'll check on him. Hopefully there's a pile of glow poop around here when we get back. Now that our little guy has been busy with his glow pooping, we've got plenty stored up in the chest. You can see here we got quite a bit that's been collecting now, so we can see what it takes to actually make our explosive. Here's the big recipe and the small recipe. Let's go ahead and make several of the big guys, 5 of those and a couple of the small ones. That should be enough for our first run. You need more if you want to do more runs and more warehouses. And in fact, if you want to blow up the whole warehouse and take it out piece by piece, you can make tons of explosives to get that done. But I have a couple things in mind that I want to get out that I consider trophies for warehouse runs. I'm going to try to get those out of here with the explosives. Now we'll see what else we can find when we get into the warehouse. But having the explosives with us will definitely yield us some really good results. There we have it. A few of them are starting to pump out now. They are definitely dangerous. Do not bump into or shoot one of these bad boys. Make sure you don't hit it with your hammer, your car. You bump it, you break it. It's really good to have, but it can backfire on you. So, well, we want to be careful with these. Let's run down our preparation list one more time. First, we got our warehouse key, check. Spud ammo, we got plenty, check. We got burgers, check. We got explosives, checkity check. Extra storage, we have these. I have this chest. I have a spare chest in here. I just gotta make sure I remember to grab it. We are now ready. Everything we need to have prepared for the warehouse run is ready to go. Got the bed in the back of the truck. It's not on my checklist because I always have one, but make sure you have a bed with you outside of the warehouse when you go in. It's hazardous in there, and the odds of you dying are pretty high with the tape bots. They like to snipe you around corners. I think that's the end of our preparation list. And next time you can catch up, and we're going to take on that little 2-story bad boy over there. See what we can find in there and take out with us as trophies or upgrades to our own base. Who knows what we might find that we can use in there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been informative to help you begin your own warehouse raids to get in there and be prepared and successful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Welcome to Online Game Freaks. This is Freaks, and thank you for joining us. Today is the big day. We've been preparing and stocking up on supplies. We've got our key unlocked, extra storage, you name it, including explosives. And we're ready to go to take out our first warehouse. Now, we got to proceed with caution. I'm going to park pretty far out. I don't want to risk any tape bots. We can be very careful here. We got to make sure we're fully stocked up. So first up, well, I don't need all the extra gas, but I do want to make sure I do have some food. It never hurts to have a couple extra blocks on you. Plenty of food and water. I do have burgers. That's going to be real important should we get into, and we will get into a fight, and we need our explosives. Key. Very important. You don't want to get over there and not have the key on you, and the extra storage. And a little bit of extra ammo. Normally I keep about 100 on me. We're going into known combat. Check your bed, make sure your respawn point is saved. From here we know the door is closer on the right. So we're gonna approach that very carefully. Almost to the door now. It's right there. But there's a tape bot just, ooh. And there's another one over here. Okay, well, let's take out the easy target. And just, ooh, I don't want to aggro them both. You need, that's like exactly what I didn't want to happen. Them both come together and then aggro. Oh, you just watch your buddy die and he's gonna shrug it off. Okay, new problem. I'm good with it. Okay, here we are. Oh, hey, Miss Sir, I'm trying to catch an elevator. He's not really sympathetic to our appointment upstairs. Here's our key. Check. And we're good to go. Call the elevator. Well, at least we're not awkwardly waiting here with a stranger trying to make chit chat as we wait for the elevator. Okay, it's time. We've got to go in, and it's gonna be dangerous. So let's go ahead and put up a kill count. Not for me, but for me, like how many times I die. There's a chance I can pull this off. We've all seen Scrap Man do it. He comes in here and he's like some sort of FPS king, and he just has a knack for this. I'm not that guy. So let's see how far I can go before I get my head shut off. We've only got 2 floors to clear. However, if you hit a particularly nasty tape bot, that's all it takes. Oh, and I can hear them already. I want nothing fancy. I just want to get them before they get me. I don't know all the maps are anywhere close to it, so we're gonna do the old follow the right. Oh, keep the. Oh! I'm in trouble. Oh! And there's a. Jesus. And there it is. That's welcome to the warehouse, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Hey, buddy. You just gonna wave at me? Look at that. We got 2 of them camping. The good news is we were very prepared for this, and we're gonna be right out front. I've got a couple. See, this is with the extra ammo. Immediately, this proves to be a thing. And if you notice, I pop up, and my health is really low. Health is low, the food's down, so you really don't want to do this over and over. It's resource intensive to be dying constantly, having to refill your bars. So let's just use some cheap food before we go running it back in there. Sometimes I think the biggest penalty of dying in this game is waiting for the elevator. You little monsters, where are you? Oh man, I got hit already. Look at that. Oh man, there's still 2 of them. I think this might have been one of those situations where you get hit them more than once, or there are just so many of them. I hope they're not camping the elevator. I'm gonna have to come out firing. Look at that, right in the elevator. Whew. Let's not start tracking our kill to death ratio on this one, guys. It's gonna be a little rough. They're in there. Oh yeah, I saw one move right there. Oh, and another one. Jeez, here we go. Oh no, where is he? These tape bots can be better snipers than I am. Oh, I missed him. Got him. Okay. Oh, yep, here's a friend. Oh! Ooh, he was close enough to hit with a hammer. He did get a shot off. Oh, see, that one took a shot right to the face and it just kept, he's still coming. Oh, no. I gotta get better at this. Don't know where the guy is that got me. I've upset something. Here he comes. God, they're so good. Man, their accuracy is... Dang it. How many of them are in here? This is crazy. Look at that. They're just tearing it up over there. Oh, here he comes. Nice. Oh, those are breakable. Oh, I did not know. Oh boy. Breakable. Oh, cardboard boxes. I felt so safe behind it. I thought it was not breakable, but it isn't for me, but they can tear them up. Oh, there's one. Oh, he's already on me. Oh, wow. Look at that shot. Oh, man. I'm telling you, the Navy and Marines need to hire these guys. They are good. Those tape bots just hit so hard, so accurately. You just... Oh, God. He came out of nowhere. I'm just glad I reflexively slammed my fingers on the mouse, or that would have been over fast. I really didn't think there was one in here. Phew. Okay. That's the first floor. I can't say it's my best work, but we did get it done. I gotta do better. Good news is I got a lot of ammo on me. Bad news, if I die, I'm running out of ammo in the truck. Okay, on our toes. Let's, gotta be loose. Gotta be aware. All right, on our toes, mechanics. And I got the ammo, so I'm just gonna blast through. Just... Yeah, I see you down there. You have to deal with any kind of shooting back nonsense. Oh, look at that. That's an explosive bot. He's got red knees. Get as far away as possible, because even if we kill him, he's gonna explode. I'm just gonna machine gun it. Go. All right, I heard the secondary. We're clear. Oh, look at this. This is where he blew up. Yeah, I took a whole chunk. Oh, well, I didn't know there was a chest back here. Thanks for blowing up, guy. There's one right there. Can you stay right there, buddy? Oh, shit. And he's got a friend. And another friend. Oh, hey, guys. I'll tell you what. You wait right here. Don't move. I'll be right back. That way. That's 2. No, you're in there somewhere. I'm paranoid. Like, it could be any corner. And they're just so deadly. They hit you right off the bat. Oh, and I'm out of room. It's all the potatoes. Look, it's all these runs. You run back in and out. Now we're having to make decisions. Oh, shit. Oh, God damn it. All right. Well, you know, just laughing at me. Oh, I got one. Oh, man, he took a chunk out of me, though. Run away. Make your move, guy. I have a highly precision spud gun with a screw, it looks like. As a sight. What could go wrong? Nice. I fell into this hole. I think it actually saved me. I think he shot right over my head. And this, as disgusting as it is a banana crate with, looks like they stacked it full of walks, and the poor walks. However, these are gold. These things are indestructible. So we want, this is one of the main things I want out of this warehouse. There's a lot of things we want, but these crates are definitely 100% one of them. Oh boy, I see trouble coming. Where you at, big guy? Ah, got the corner. No, get out of there. There it is. Found the gap. All right, here we go. Now we gotta be careful here. Could be bots, right? Yeah, right there. Oh, and it's an explosive bot. A brave person only dies once. Oh, where'd it go? There they are. Oh, boy, in. Oh. And a second one just for giggles. Look at that. He made a big hole there. Oh, there, like, he's right there. Oh, I got him. Use the cow crate for a little cover. See what he likes about that. Oh, geez, there he is. Okay, well, now we know. Oh, he's coming in hot. Oh, got him in the knee. Oh, he's got a friend. I'm stuck. Okay. I didn't panic. I did not. I didn't panic. You panicked. And this says elevator. So, okay, this is the roof. And this is great. This is the end. That's how we get out of here. So we've actually got everything cleared to the elevator. I do feel bad for the walks. These things are indestructible. So for base defenses, you want a bunch of those. Here we go. Storage. This is what we're looking for. Ah, and there it is. Look at that. Encryptors, encoders. That's the kind of thing we're after. Okay. Seems safe. Let's do some parkour. Another pipe. Another pipe. Parkour. Okay. Nothing in here. Ah, there it is. Look at that. Beautiful. Got all these gold chests, and we're out of space. But this is where we brought in the old extra storage issue. There's just too much to carry in here, but with a chest and a lift, our problem is solved. Now let's see what we got in these crates. Gas engine, can't go wrong with that. Suspension, okay. A switch, all right, you know, it's something. Ooh, garment box and a big old revival baguette, very nice. And here we go, here's the big loot. This is why we're here. You can't get the pineapple seeds or the broccoli seeds any other way. You have to get them out of here, and you have to pull them out of this chest to do so. And you also get, look at this, we got nice garment boxes, got a gold one, so that could be exciting what that might unlock. Mission accomplished in that regard. So now it's a matter of, and yes, we do have to carry it now. We're not done here yet. Let's do the old lift here. We put it, a little explosive just like so. We got the explosive down right next to this wall here on the right, and this is underneath the little purple. This is underneath the orange sign here. Give it a little tap. Boom, and there it is. This is what we're here for. This is one of our trophies. This is the encryptor, I believe. A little cool little piece in here, and that's why we have a little extra explosives, because we're gonna have to bust it out of there. Get this right up next to it, and it should blast it right off the wall. A little love tap there. Okay, yeah, and look, there it is. It came off, and now you can't pick it up. So we're gonna have to, hammer this thing out of here, which, as you can see, can be quite the trick, especially getting it off the ground. We've created a hole here. Oh, juggling in the air. Oh. Okay, we got it up. All right, we got it out of the hole. So that one hopefully was the hardest part. don't know why it's trying to be difficult. There we go. There you go. Just like that. Okay, it's on the floor. And one of the reasons is that this wall right here, and it's really well marked, it's already partially blown up. You can see it. They kind of give you a clue that this is available. But if we set up a little bit, just a little bit of our fun can right here. Safe distance. Satisfying explosion as always. And here we are by the elevator. This is how we get out. Nice quick way. So now all we need to do is grab our loot. I want to get our little trophy out of here, but now we got to get it up that. So I figure that's going to take some hammering, but I want my trophy. Whew. All right, you can go downstairs too. There's another one right here. Let's check this. I love that boom. And look at that. There's the other one right there. Get it right on it. I'll make sure it clears everything around it. Like this. There we go. Got it. Okay, it's free. There we go. Elevator. Okay, got our chest and our cow crates. Let's take the elevator up to the roof. And there we are. We're on the roof. Yay. Once we're out here, you can just pick it up like normal. Cow crates go right in the inventory. Everything, all these loose parts from this thing, if I take it apart, they'll go straight in the inventory. Unlike the warehouse where you can't take them apart. So now these become individual pieces. Like I can delete them, take it apart for now. But the mission is to get those trophies out. And this particular warehouse, by just bad luck, doesn't have any ramps on the roof. Usually they have something with a ramp on it, and you can grab the ramps and take them with you. Wouldn't you know it, this is... Maybe because it's a two-story guy and it's real small, it doesn't have the ramps. It took some persistence and a lot of hammering, no lie, but I did finally get these two into the elevator, and there we are. Got our trophies. Once these are out, you can now they work like regular tools. You can't put them in your pocket, but you can put them on the lift. So what we're gonna do is yeah, that's right, you can't wire to them, although I'm not aware of anything that they can actually do when you wire to them, and like any active functions or anything when you turn them on or off. I'm actually making a junk pile. I'm gonna just put a bar in here and weld that to it, and I can weld. Yep, there we go. We're gonna weld these on there like so, and yeah, you too, guy. We'll weld you on here like that. Now you're like, what am I gonna do with that? Well, best way off the roof is just off the roof. So what we're gonna do now is just take this clump of treasure, we'll call it, although it's really not attractive, and we're gonna knock it off the roof, and then we're gonna jump off after it. And there she goes. Now our only hope is it doesn't fall on the roof somewhere. Now I gotta try this whole seat on a lift trick. I gotta yank the lift and jump in the seat real quick. Okay, and we're falling. Oh, there's our stuff right here. Grab that seat back. Okay. Does look like, let's go that way with this stuff. There you go, be free. Hopefully I can be right behind you here. Worked the last time. What the hell? I've never seen a tape out up here before. What is happening right now? Oh, and there's a chest? I had no idea. Well, we learned, I have played Scrap a lot, and I've never seen a tape bot in the middle of a layer, and I've never noticed a chest up here. And that's just me, I'm sure. I'm sure they didn't do a patch. We all know they didn't do a patch and make that a new thing. This is a bad place to try to do a corpse recovery from. Let's try this trick. Get in the seat. Yay! Blink. Oh, all right. Well, it wasn't pretty, but it worked perfectly. It's great. So take my chest and we'll just slap this on anywhere. I say anywhere, but you know, I'm very picky about aesthetics. Oh, I can't put it on a lift. Oh my God, because I want to weld it onto the truck here. Nowhere I'm gonna put these yet, but I am excited to have them. Dismantle that later. So let's just try to get out of here without getting our head shut off by a tape bot. Nope, there's a tote bot. Oh, there's a tape bot. Go, 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 go. Man, this thing does not turn well. Oh, more trouble. We just gotta move. Move, 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 move. Move, 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 move. Bot, move, move, move. Go, go. Where's the road? Oh, more tape bots shooting at us. Yikes. They're right there. Oh, I got it. I like it. Yep. And there we have it. We've got our trophies. We got our seeds, and we're gonna have to, before we put those seeds down, we're gonna have to build some defenses. And I think we're gonna spend the next couple of sessions doing just that, testing them against stronger and stronger raids and see how they hold out and seeing what we need to improve. But until then, thank you for joining. I've really enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Definitely need to make some time for automation, and that's what we've done here. This is a fully automated system. It seeds, it harvests, it waters. It's all done at the controls computer room that we've built to make it smarter. If you come in here, you can see that we have the computer panel there to the right, and the controls here where I can turn things on and off, as well as adjust timings and settings so that the machine flows just perfectly. And we're currently planting a set of potatoes. We definitely need the ammo. And I've got some tier 1 crops going for testing, and because during building this, the raids were coming. You know, during testing, you got to plant things. So we've been fighting off a few raids. We are also up to 192 crops. I did end up adding a couple of rows just because the efficiency of the pistons and everything. I had the room, so why not? It does up the game quite a bit, and it looks wonderful. And the system just purrs right along with no assistance. So with all that said, now let's jump in and I can show you how we built this, and you can have the system yourself. You're definitely gonna want one of these setups. It's a beautiful Scrap Mechanic sunset, and we are at our start point with our existing watering system. If we hit the switch, you can see here where it just starts automatically going back and forth, watering every plot. The first thing, unfortunately, I need to disassemble this to move it. Let's just go ahead and start taking it apart, piece by painful piece. Oh yeah, you can always see Logic doing fun things when you do this. We're gonna need a little more left to right room to install both a harvester and a planter. And we just don't have enough of it back and forth because it's going to need to pass completely over the plots on this side as well as on this side, and that really means this entire system is going to need to get a little bit bigger. And I think the easiest thing for me to do is, unfortunately, I'm going to need to add another piston to the system of the pushing that's going out that way. That will allow for the extra room we need to get the auto harvester in. I'm going to put the beginning of the cage here. And we want to drop it down about, so if I put it too low, I can't get through it. I do like to be able to walk around or at least duck under it. We're going to start here. We'll see how that lines up. We're just going to build a box, nothing fancy. That's center, so we want to make sure we build it so it starts just behind this dot right here in the middle. First thing we want is, and you can do these in either order if you want to do planting first or harvesting first. I don't think it really matters. Maybe it will with a little trial and error. We'll find it. Maybe there's a way one works better than the others. But for now, let's just see what that does. Okay, and that lines up perfectly. We're great by going straight down. We're dead center. These are 3 wide, so we're right in the middle of it. Boom, there we go. And this one I'll have harvest, plant, and water. Just like that. Let's go up to the top here where I have prepared a computer area, new and improved, a little switchboard. Nothing's wired. I just thought for once, maybe I'll look at cosmetics as well as function. Now the fun part. We've got to wire all of this up. Where do you start, right? Let's start with the pistons. The first thing, of course, it needs to go across the field, and that's this level 10 controller. It needs to go first to the ones in the back, and I gotta feel like I'm gonna do some jogging here. Very good, that's 1 and 2. I gotta try to pay attention. This is gonna turn into spaghetti real fast. So I wanna make sure I set it up in a way that makes sense to me. All right, big red switch is the on and off, and I did want another one for water. Is this a nice? And another one for the seeding, which may be green. We're already wired on that. We've got them into the controller, and so we'll put the power switch to the controller like so. Because of the back and forth, it's really helpful if you allow it to pause. So let's go ahead and start with 2 pauses. Then we go first set fires, second set fires, third set. It holds at a count, then it pulls back, then it retracts the second set, and then the first. It looks good to me. We don't want it to go too fast. It won't be a what, but for this is a test. Let's just see how it does, and turn on. Oh, there it goes. Oh no. Okay, something, as you can see, it started to get off track, and this is one of the things that it's gonna happen sooner or later. There was something in the way. I'll take a look at it here in a second. Hopefully I stopped it and I can just fix it with a lift. Give yourself a bar here and give it a little nudge. Should go right back. Go. One. There we go. And we need to figure out what might have caught it up. I'm really glad we tested. This is exactly why we wanted to do that. And I don't need it a bunch. Just needs to make sure it starts, you know, after that first foot that's pushing out. But I think for safety, remember, we're gonna go for the biggest raid possible, and that'll be just one thing that a tape bot would have to shoot through. I'm gonna replace even some of the moving parts, like these feet I'm using. You know, I tried to minimize that little guy right there. Replace that with one of these really low friction blocks, and it should move better. We should have a much better result. What I'm gonna try to attempt, and we'll testing, all right, we're gonna see how this works, is if I can draw it into, and I may have to like use some vacuum tubes to get this all to work out, but I want it to pull in and filter the potatoes into this and this. When it pulls them in, it's going to pull in potato seeds, and I wanted to put it into this container for planting it. The little trial and error, I've got it working. It comes all the way down to the end. I've got some of those nice frictionless blocks up here. It's got a little stopper just to make sure everything stays tight and it doesn't overshoot the track. We've now got the, we'll call it north and south, accomplished. It successfully goes back and forth very, very well. Next up, we gotta go east and west. And to do that, of course, we're gonna have to reestablish our memory system and the counting system that we put in our video we did a while back about the expert watering system. I'll try to cover it real briefly here, but I won't go into more detail. If you want to see more detail, I encourage you to watch that video. This time, since I've got a nice vertical wall here, I'm gonna go about it as logically, kind of like I'm coding it, and I'm not saying I'm coding. It's just flow like a program top to bottom in the order that I want it to execute. So right at the top, let's put our 1-tick generator. We're gonna need 3 blocks. It's gonna start with an XOR, and we also need a NOR gate. And the wiring on this is a little specific. You wanna make sure that you go from your XOR into your NOR, and the XOR goes into the AND gate, and then you finally, this one goes here. For testing purposes, I'll just put the button here real quick and we'll wire it up for the first one just to make sure this works. And it does. We get a single blip here is what we're going for. From that, we can underneath, just gonna start stacking our first memory set, and we're gonna have 3 of these, so might as well just block it in. Creates a lovely set of memory, and these all just need to be wired together to create their memory bits, which is fine. So we'll just do that in nice big circles. There we go. We got 3 1-bit memory modules for us to use with this 1-bit generator. So if we do this from here to here, once it's wired there, now we also want to make sure these all need to be XOR gates. So let me go ahead and make that XOR, XOR. Now they're memory bits. Turns on and off with our 1-bit generator. Need to wire them together with an AND bit so that we can start generating these down the row to add in when we have the clause that if one's lit and the next one isn't, we can go ahead and light it up. It'll start counting. So the logic is if this is on and it gets another bit, then go ahead and light this guy up. So we want to put this to here and this to here. And when that is true, and we make sure you do it to all of these or it'll get wonky on you. It's very important you wire it to all of them. And now we can click it and there we go. It's counting. And it even resets nicely at the end. Do the same thing for the next one up as well. And it's a little bit trickier because it has a second and. So again, it starts with, oh, I got another tick. But this time I need both of these also to be on. So I need to get the tick, that's on and that's on. If true, we fire up our extra memory bit. Oops. And there we go. It should just, and there it is. That's our counting that we wanted to do as it fills up. So it would start off, if you want, as this would be row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and Sesame Street would be proud, but there you go, it can count. And that's how we want it. We're going to wire that to the piston so that as those go up, the piston on the tray, you know, for what we're calling east and west, will fire off. I'm going to use the first one and patch this into our first piston. And the second one, of course, to the second memory bit. And the last one to the third, just like so. And just to remind you that these are set to intervals of 3, 6, and get in there, 12. The combination of which is what allows it to move over each of these rows. You know, this would be 0, this would be 3, 6, 9, 12. And then you start adding in another 3, etc. So it actually works its way across. In theory, this should work. If I hit this button, we go from our 1 position to the 2 position. And it moved over. Let's check our alignment. I'm so excited. That might have actually worked. First try. Oh, that just looks good. We're centered, right? And we are. We're perfectly centered. It moved over 1 good clean row. Let's teach it how to do that on its own. So we've got this set up to a loop, so it will go back and forth. But we wanted to get to the end, and then we wanted to move over a row and get back, and then move over a row. So to do that, we're gonna need the sensors. And I've got a few here, and we're gonna need at least 1 on each side. Wow. So this will be the sensor on this side that we wanna use to have it travel back. So I'm just trying to, I'm eyeballing it. It might be like right here is what I'm thinking. Just wanna make sure it doesn't touch anything else. No, that's good. So when the tray hits this spot, that means it's reached the end. It will trigger the return. So this is the sensor here. Let's tell by the color. So that'll create a blip, and this one will create the blip. And it's really good to have this 1-bit generator because otherwise the sensor would send like a long signal, or it could send a unsteady, like several blips at once if it was shaky as it went over. So it's really good to have that in place now. So now what we want to do, let's test the system. Let's fire it up. Moves to the end, detects the sensor, and moves over. Since we had it counting, I couldn't resist, and I actually dialed it into a counter here at the top. It's not a number display, but it's certainly really the basic of getting one established. And basically, by a series of NOR gates at the top, I tell it what I don't want, and at the bottom, I tell it what I do want. You can see it count up now, so we're starting at row 1, which of course is the memory board is completely blank, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. You can see now we have a nice visual display that shows it advancing across the field, you know, this way, and we can see where it's at, and see our memory's working. And I thought it was just a nice, friendly display. Maybe I'll paint it or something, but for now, it's very satisfying. Now we need to align those targets with where the water cannons are, and they're a little different now. So let me turn it off so we can catch it. Again, the friction is the enemy of this reliability. So I just gotta make sure I don't forget to set it to 2, but now it's not touching. That's even better. And you can see it's lined up and it's lit, letting you know that it's hitting the peg. So that is part 1 of the water system. So what we need to do, because we need to have that, when that one's on it and that one's on it, we need it to fire. And that means an AND gate, maybe 1 more. There we go. So what we want now, this AND gate is based off of these. So let me grab first sensor here and the second sensor, which is the one up here. So when those are both lined up, we want it to fire this water cannon. It's this one here. That's what's gonna fire the water cannons. And it's on right now, so it's not surprising that we got a sploosh. Sploosh. Right now, it will run. The only problem I have is I don't have it tied into the water pump, and we'll run out of water. So let me grab that. This is the power, the main. We'll tie that into our switch here. And let's test that. And to disable the water by a switch, what I can do is just add another AND gate here. Oh, it's turned. There we go. The logic for this will be that it has, you know, of course it gets the triggers from here, like everything else, but it also has to have the switch on. If we now tie in the water pumps instead to this beginning gate with the second one where all the conditions have to be true, then we'll be able to just turn off by switch if we need. The water system is noisy, which is one of the reasons I have it, so I can have it turn off with the switch. Maybe I just want to harvest it. I don't want to add more water to the field, so I'm just trying to clear the fields out so I don't get any more raids. So even if this is true, because the switch is off, it won't send a signal here, and there it goes. It's trying to water, but it can't because I've got this, this condition on it, if you will. Now if I turn this on, it should start watering again. Moving over a row. Working great. And now it's starting to water again. There we go. So for the harvest trigger, I just want the main switch to be on. If the main switch is on, that's good. And if the harvest trigger is on, which is this pink one over here. So with those two set, that's what we're gonna put to our harvesting guys, which is this one here, and figure out the right one. This one here, the one's in the middle. So now when the harvesting switch is on and the main is on, it will harvest. So harvest that on, put that on. We are now harvesting. You can see it's trying. It's trying to harvest, but there's just nothing to pick up. But that's successful. We now have the ability to turn it on and off separately from our other systems. And it works with the main system as well. Final thing that we'll want for this is the seeding. And I saved planting the seeds for last, because once we start doing that, it's going to trigger a raid, and you can do this with or without the pistons. I kind of just liken the ability to adjust it from here with our control panel. If I put a piston here, oh, I can put a sensor on it. I was just a little too close. There we go. But just to test this, I want to make sure it works. I'm going to have, let's go ahead and tie this into the controller. I have a separate controller just for this. Here we go. We'll lower each of these, and it just needs to default there. I don't need to switch this. They're just going to be down. It sees a plant, it says, nope, I'm not going to need to put one there. But if I take that out, it turns off. What we'll have is a combination. It's very similar to the other sensor setup, which is once this position is lined up and it says, hey, you're on position, is there a plant there? If not, plant one. And of course, we need another logic gate that, you know, when all those conditions are true, it will fire off. This first set is watering. So let's just, you know, blew it. That's watering. And the second one is for harvesting, right? So let's pink that one. And this third one is for planting, which is a green. Okay, do that again real quick. Power on. Green switch on. Alignment sensor is tripped. And our other alignment sensor is tripped. However, and we make this a NOR gate. We don't want there to be a plant there. So that's this bit here. If there is a plant here, don't plant. That's gonna go to the NOR. Like that, and then the NOR comes back over. So, it's only if all these conditions are true, that'll light up and it'll plant. So this has to be on. So that sets up what we need to have for the logic for this planter. When all that's true, you pop out a little seed. All of that is true. You can also kick out a seed. I think we're ready for a test. So let me turn on the harvester. I'm gonna leave the planter off. I don't have any seeds in it anyway. We can advance our switch to row 1. Got a nice sensor here, I like that. And we got good visibility. This is all going as planned, almost like I meant to do it. All right, all the switches are on. We fire on the switch. The harvester 1 is going. Harvester 2 is going. Water. And it's trying to plant, but it has no seeds, so it is failing. Ooh, that's looking good. It's looking really good. One there. Clear. Is it right on the next row in the center? It is. This looks really good. I think we're ready to put some seeds in it. and see if this works. Now, of course, that's going to trigger a raid. What time is it? So let's do this. I'm going to try to do it first thing in the morning. So for here, we want to put in our harvesting bin our 2 seeds for this. That's our veggies. And in this, we wanted to plant the seeds from here. So potatoes. It is time. It is time. Let's fire it up. The maiden voyage, fully automated. Computer's working. It's planting. Look at that. It's working. It is fully working. Okay, it planted 1 row. It shifts. The sensor should also work backwards. It does. The water comes in afterwards. The timing wasn't quite right. So what I did is I installed a couple of timers at each end so that when it passes back and forth, it delays it. And I did this by adding another type of memory bit, which is this NOR OR gate. When you put these together, it creates another memory bit. When you send a signal into this gate, it actually activates this for you. And that's what I'm using to trigger the on-off for the gates. And you can reset it over here. So what I did is I have this side of it being triggered by the on switch and the piston at this end, and it resets when it reaches the other end through that sensor over there. So between the combination of the 2 of them, it turns on and off, and it controls the controller, which is no longer a loop. It just slowly moves through its extension. And when it reaches the end, we turn this controller off and it just pulls itself back. But if the other dials are on, then it still plants and waters, etc. So I know that's a lot, and we have really reached a nice technical. Here is that spaghetti I promised you. You can see it everywhere. It is spaghetti and the meatballs. It's all about it, but it's so smart. So now, because now at the end, I can control, and that's the nice piece here. That's why we built a nice easy control panel. We can turn all our bits on and off. We can advance rows. We can actually have timers for each end of the setting, so we can dial these in so it works really nicely. And if I turn this on, you can see this in action where it will, part of this, the controller, it has a little delay at the beginning and it goes about its business. This timer relaxes, and you'll see at the end, it'll hit the timer. You'll see it here as soon as it flips over. There it goes, and it starts the timer, which allows it to move over the row. And it's got a little extra time because of a reset if it needs to move all the way back. And then it moves back, goes about its business. I have everything else off, so it's just in the test pattern to move back and forth. And now it reaches the end, triggers the sensor on this side, which is right there. And that starts another timer, allowing it to move across all. In this case, you can see it had moved all the way back. Plenty of time because of the timer. So now if I turn it all on, it will now go about its full paces, and we will be in it. And of course, now it's going to start with planting, watering, and moving about that. You can see how nicely it's doing that. So there you have it, a fully automated crop system. It plants, it harvests, it waters. And in this case, it also contains potato canisters, so that we can automate spud cannons with that for the base defenses. We can plant 2 different types of crops or more if we want to mix the seeds in the containers. And I think in the end, we came up with a very attractive control panel that allows us to control the individual parts of it, and we can play with the settings in the controllers and the timings. And we have our computer to the right, purely logic gates, and I added a few little blinky lights. That's always fun. Now we have the complete setup, fully automated, something that we can turn on, let it run, and just grab resources from it as we need to, and this will just keep on running. Now we'll take a look. You may have to grab some seeds and move them from the collector bin over into the planter side. I want to thank you for being here and walking us through this very technical explanation of the automated watering system, and I look forward to the next episodes as we build up our base defenses, as these crops are going to attract a lot of attention and we need to get some big crops in the ground. Thank you very much. See you in game. In our last raid, we were able to get the broccoli and pineapple seeds, and however, those are kind of weapons of your own destruction. When you start planting them, you will start to see some of the highest difficulty raids that Scrap Mechanic can offer, and they are hard. You'll get giant farm bots, etc. So before I can plant those seeds, I have to be able to lock this place down, and it's already becoming quite a challenge. The goal, of course, is you can't let them into your farm. Every bot is going to go for the farm. They're going to try to destroy everything in their path to get there, and they won't stop. We definitely have to make sure that we are ready before we plant those seeds, or we will have... it will ruin all this hard work. We've got a beautiful village going, and I'd hate to see it ruined. It's not bad if you run around real quick with a spud gun. I do have a tier 3 metal defensive wall now completely surrounding it. And what that does is buy me time. And that's what we need here. And speaking of time, we're out of it. And I do like this little sunshake thing I put right here. It really gives me a place where I can take out this side pretty easy. No sweat. And then it's just a race. I have to get around this place faster than they can break into it. Oh, one more. Okay. And, oh, hey, excuse me. Boom. His head goes flying. That's perfect. Ooh, a component kit. So, and look, right there, even a tier 3 metal, he was working his way through. So we cannot just let them just bang on this wall indefinitely. They will get through, and we will have problems. So that's our goal, is we've got to toughen this place up. I can't just run around defending it if I'm attacked. And I think there's 3 farm bots in a level 10. I could be wrong. We'll double check those things. But even if it's one, this wall and me, it won't work because it takes like something like 50 potatoes to take out a farm bot. And if I'm doing that, I'm not defending anything else, which means they're all breaking in. So the reason I'm using this level 3 wall all the way around, it's the strongest material you can make in the bot. If we go in here and you look at all the blocks, the metals are strongest. There is also a really good concrete, but what we're looking for is durability. And you can see here it's 7 out of 10. Whereas the metal block 3 is 8 out of 10. It's the toughest thing that you can make these. And unfortunately, and I wish this wasn't true, but if you want to make the concrete, you need metal 3 and you actually weaken it. It actually gets weaker when you make the concrete. It's too bad. It's kind of like this steel reinforced concrete might be stronger. I don't know. But it is the way it is. So I really don't find any real need other than if I want something heavy and as indestructible as possible, like for a car. You know, you got a car and you're fighting farm bots. You might want to use this tier 3 concrete. It's a really solid foundation for your vehicle that Scrap Mechanic likes to be heavy. So I recommend it for that. But for walls, save your metal. You know, use the good stuff, right? Use the best thing you can. And I would call this base defense number 1. You have to have a good fence. You want a wall, but you must start with at least a good fence. And in this case, I used a little cheap block underneath here, just keep a post on it. But definitely tier 3 metal as soon as you can. That will absolutely, as long as you're not going to the hardest base, it'll give you all the time you need to get around and protect your stuff. The second big part of our defensive is right here, cow crate. As I said, the tier 3 metal is the most durable item you can make in the craft bot. However, these are actual durability 10. They're indestructible. I've never seen a bot break one, and when you got them, you've got a wall. Of course, the trick to the walk rates is you've got to earn them, and that means warehouse raids. Luckily for us, I did get a few in our last warehouse raid. However, I didn't get them all, and I'm gonna go over there with you guys, and let's go get another couple of these, I think. And that means explosives, so that's always fun. And there he is. Can't put that. Oh, nice shot. Oh, shootskis. Oh, man. I walked right into him. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? You think you're chasing me, but I'm chasing you. Well, you know, rather peaceful all in all. This wall over here looks pretty damaged, and sometimes they give you clues. So let's see if this is a way to get these things out of here. What's behind this wall? You get this guy really close. Go. Right in the middle. Give him a little tap. Look at that. We're through. Ooh. And that's the second one in there. And now we just get these out to the roof and we can take them with us. I don't know why they boxed these poor walks up in banana crates, but it was a terrible fate for them. And there we are, we're on the roof, so now these become collectible. One more jump. I think my car is actually parked right down here somewhere. Yeah, there she is. Let's see if I can hit the seat. Nope, I went through the world. Where am I? Okay, yeah, I admit it, I was playing the game wrong. Next up on our list is we're gonna get some spud guns for the base. They have mounted spud guns. The trader sells them. We just need bananas and blueberries, and I have a few. I've got some in the crate. Of course, our farm is cranking out all kinds of produce right now. We have endless spuds, endless food. It just whatever we feed it, as long as we're able to defend it. Which we can as long as we stay away from the broccoli and pineapple. But that's what we need these spud guns for. I want broccoli and pineapple. Right here we have the mountable spud gun. We've got enough to get a few of these. So let's go ahead and fill up on those. And a good deal for you, you arms dealer you. Let's head back to base with our weapons. We definitely don't want to get caught now as we are smuggling in weapons. Excuse me. Always satisfying. We're back at the base, and now we can take advantage of both of the components we've just picked up. With the cow crates and... sorry, buddy, about the cow crate thing. It's going to be a little awkward here in a second, but we've got the cow crates, and we've got the mounted spud guns that we can mount all together, and we're going to start in this corner and basically build a weapon box. All right, for those of you who are wok sensitive, I need burgers. The first step of this, I like to put these crates, we need a bunch more, but the first ones I use to protect my corners, I think right there. The best way to check it, you just run a little line here and you go, is it good? Yeah. All right, perfectly in the corner. For this wall, I think what we'll do is we'll set out the sensor to be 2 blocks out from the wall, or the next block out, so it'll be 2. Oop, get that lined right up there. So this one it's 2 out, it gives them room to bounce back and forth, and the gun will be on the side of it, sticking out, of course, like so. And when the sensor gets tripped, the gun can fire. And we want to keep these both protected, so I'm going to build a box like so, and then on this side as well, and leaving a space. You know, sometimes Scrap doesn't always calculate distance, and I don't trust it. So I like to put a little bit of extra gap right there. And there we leave room for the sensor to stick through. Actually, I can move that sensor up a notch and give us 1 more block worth of range. We need 1 logic gate back here to tie it together, and I do want to protect that on the inside as best I can. To set up some quick wiring while we're here, the sensor goes into the gate, the gun gets fired from the gate, and this is just an AND gate, and we'll tie it into other things soon, but already we can turn this all the way up to level 4, and you can see it's here. And if this had ammo connected to it, it would fire a shot. That part of it's done, and what's nice already is you can see we have a little bit of a battle platform developing here in the corner, just like a castle. So we have our ability, and from up here we got a really good shot of both walls. We're high up in the air, and these crates are indestructible. With the battle boxes, we'll be in pretty good shape on the corners. It needs spuds, so let's do that first. And we'll connect this to this box right here. That allows us to fire the gun. Test successful. It works. Now, so to improve the functionality of this, what we want to do is make this fire not just once, but like a machine gun. Just keep firing. If something is in front of it, it needs to fire. To do that, let's go back over to our control center, and we need to build a battle computer. And you know I like building computers. Here's our nice controls for our agricultural center here, we can call it. And I'm gonna put a battle computer right here next to it. First thing we need for that is to build the quick blip that creates the machine gun fire. Just need 3 of these blocks. Whoop. I like them turned. 1 more, like so. And let's make this bottom one an OR gate. Now we loop them together. Loop, 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 like so. And you can see the blip. And that's what we want. That's the signal we want to send to the gun when the gun has a target in sight. And I also want to be able, do I have a switch? I need a, yeah, here we go. I got a switch. And I also want to be able to turn it on and off. And that's part of the control center business. So let's put the switch right here. There we go. I knew it looked wrong for a reason. And now we'll wire that in so we can turn this off when the switch is off. There we go, master control. Now, if I step in front of it, it's probably gonna give me a few potatoes to let me know I should back up. Here we go, look at that. Just drives you backwards. And that's excellent. And I actually, let's take a finish this upgrade here. Let's give it max range. It needs 3 more and it gets 20 max sensor. And how far is that out? Ooh, that's pretty good range. right about up to, yeah, this block set right here. Let's set up another gun type on the wall because this gun is good for protecting the actual wall itself. But the best thing you can do is really not let them into your wall. You gotta keep them out. And for that, let's use a gun that points outward. And I marked a block here because it's right in the center. They seem to really like to come through here. So let's go ahead and build the mounted gun facing outwards here. Let's do the wiring. So just like the other one, we want to put the sensor into the gate into the gun. The gun needs ammo. Let's go ahead and hook her up. You're gonna go into that box. And it needs that rapid signal. Let's get that here. It's on, that's great, so we can test it. Right into the old box, boom. So now it should, let me have it when I step in front of this box. There it is, let's get back behind the line. Excellent, now the last piece, we wanna, excuse me. I'm trying to do something here, guy, hold on. I can grab it from here. So with these, we now have, whoops, dead ends. Yes, my base is kind of a maze through these buildings. Get this right into our rapid fire block. There we go. Now it should, yeah, just let me have it. I think this one, how are we doing? Not quite maxed. Why not? They're here to do damage, so let's hook it up. Yeah, there we go. And they do like this corner, so that might actually kill some bots. That's great. We now have 3 fully functional machine guns set up on the base walls. We can add more as we can afford the parts to do so. So that's guns. So let's finish the next piece, which is, let's put some saw blades on some things, right? So I've got a basic setup here. This is what we're looking at. Again, just protecting the weapon, if you will. And this one's more of a defense. They don't really jump into the saw blades. They'll dance around it and they'll realize that I can hit the wall over here. But it does cost them time, which means gives me reaction time. To set one of these up, it's not very hard. There's only one bearing and we built a box, of course. I'm just gonna come over, got a little spot. Oop, where's my bearings? There we go. Put a bearing right, on the fence. Put the blade on it. Perfect. And we build the box. Like so. And that's perfect. Now to finish this, of course, it's not moving. And we can connect several things to it. We can connect engines or controllers. What I've done is I did upgrade a level 10 controller for the wall. The wall is hugely important. So I went ahead and said, hey, let's spend the money and go ahead and hook up a controller. So I've got that here. And jam it in, buttons facing out always. There we go. And I'm gonna put this on the switch as well. And there we go. And it's got 10 spots and it can go max speed on a loop. And that's what we're firing for when we get it set up. But let's go ahead and wire this right to our saw blade, like so. And direction don't matter. You can cut meat either way. So let's go ahead and go back. Oh, you know what? I hooked up one of these just because I want to see what it does when it spins and if the robots care. It doesn't have any blades to it. I don't think it'll do that, but who knows? For giggles, let's hook it up. And now that they're hooked up, it's simply a matter of the off, of course, is 0, and then you 360 these guys. Make sure it's on a loop, maximum speed. And from there, and it is on. So yeah, that should be spinning right now. Both of our blades, yeah, there we go. We got a blade here. I walk into it, it cuts. Yeah, they won't like that. We walk into this and it makes crazy noises. The limit is the final boss in Scrap Mechanic, which is lag. You can make things as complicated as you want, but the price is lag, and that's where we're at. Not now, but it could happen soon. Just a full 360 across the board. Make sure you get them all. Can't tell you how many times I scroll around in this and I miss one just because I didn't scroll quite to the edge. All right, loop, max, everything 360. It is armed. So now we should have spinning saw blades and things, and we do. Here's the things, the blades are all spinning. So that second part of the defense is now set up. We've got blades going, be good detractors. On the wall, they do make the bots hesitate, but on the wall and spinning, they hesitate and hurt. Of course, tier 3 metal, it's hard to get and time consuming. You've got to do a lot of farming to get it. I saved you that hassle of watching me farm all this metal, but trust me, it was farmed. However, what we do get in plentiful amounts is just the raw ore, and you can convert it to this brick pretty cheap. It actually makes it tougher. It's one of the few things that actually gets tougher when you upgrade it or transform it. This we can build around it, and it really looks cool, so I'm all for that. And it will stop a shot from a tape bot. It'll stop mine completely, but you know, tape bot's gonna have to take them out brick by brick, and they're hitting this wall instead of hitting my stuff. And I don't like tape bots hitting my stuff. So what we can do is, as we have this available, we just work it around our wall. This isn't quite necessarily the total height I want it to be, but I'd rather go around once at this height, and the only thing that's getting shot out is like lights and some stuff that's up on top. Hopefully they don't hit my farming rig. I don't want them to destroy that, but this is a big step just by running at least this much of a wall wherever you can. But yeah, we do this, but it just takes more farming and we can have all this built out. But this is a huge part of their defense. Gotta have the wall. You have to have a good wall. Now the last thing, I think we've got the wall done, we've got the guns up, we got the blades up. There's one more thing I want to try. It's experimental for me. I haven't built one of these before, but I've got to try to figure out how we're going to deal with tape bots and farm bots. The farm bots, of course, are the biggest fear. And I think I need to make some sort of a tripping weapon or something that might help us deal with them. So let's build this a little low. I'm gonna go one each way, and I just barely want it off the ground because it's supposed to be a tripping hazard. So we're gonna come up one, Actually, I need to make sure this sticks in the ground. So I need to go down one and up one, just a full post. Down one, up one. Then we're gonna throw in our bearings. And I'll just weld this in the middle, I hope. Like that. You gonna let me weld this to this? You are, thank you. All right, now let's attach this to the ground. Right here. Oh, that's the spinny bit. Nope, don't want to put it there. This is the post that's going to go in the ground. If I attach it right here, that should be the bit. Excellent. Kind of spins, but it's hitting the thing underneath, and that's okay. Hopefully, if these posts work like I was thinking, yeah, it's stuck in the ground. There we go. There we go. Now she's a spinner. Just like that. Okay. Now let's get this wired into our defense computer. Right there, on the gun. Or wired into the motor up here. Let's turn it on. We've got a raid coming soon, so we'll get a live test. Engine's on. The guns are active. So let's just test this. Oops. Oh, look at that go. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. Which way is it spinning? It is spinning up. I want it to throw them up. This is gonna throw them at me. I want to throw them away. There we go. That's perfect. And that should, yes. Oh, that looks great. Oh, that looks really good. So next up is just we'll see how it does in a live test. Or there's the timer. Let's see how we did. I'm actually gonna, anybody? Oh God, don't send me over it. Oh, there we go. Bot destroying. That's what we wanted. You little buddy. Oh, that was excellent. It worked perfectly. I think this might be our last guy. He's trying to swim and they're terrible at it. And here we are. It's another beautiful morning of Scrap Mechanic, and I feel a little bit safer. I hope you've gotten a few ideas that will help you defend your bases in Scrap Mechanic. If you got ideas for me, I welcome them. I know there's tons, and some of you may have created some favorites of your own that perhaps I haven't seen, and I would welcome those ideas. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time in game. Welcome to Online Game Freaks. This is Freaks, and thank you for joining our continuing series to take on the hardest challenges of Scrap Mechanic. Today, as you can see, I'm hanging out in my condo. It is a bit of a bachelor pad, I do admit. As you can tell, it's slapped together from random pieces of scrap homes I found around the place, and I have stitched it together into this towering monstrosity, and I love it. But it's now reached the point, I think it's time to, officially dress it up and make it more homey. We're not gonna have any Mrs. Scrap Mechanics running by here in the state of this place. There's no order to it. This is supposed to be a storage area, and it's not. And then the stairs upstairs, I've stitched it together, and in here we have an embarrassing bedroom, and this is my kitchen. And you can see here, we now have 2 bots. And this one over to the left, and I labeled these so I wouldn't forget, this is Kirby on the left. Kirby with a K, and he's, as you can see, dapped out in a nice chef white. And over to the right, we have Herbie, Herbie, it helped me remember, and she is in a lovely fuchsia pink. It's pretty hot stuff. And this is their home, and it's a bit embarrassing. Let's demonstrate the art of a cookbot. This is one of the things that you really have to be patient. This is one of the things I really enjoy about Scrap Mechanic. At some point along the way, the developers of Scrap Mechanic or someone really loved it, and you'll be able to tell by the effort they put into, first of all, just the idle animations of these cute little guys. But when I put them to task making a veggie burger, watch this guy work. All right, Herbie, that's not really your best effort there. She just smashed that into oblivion. All right, okay, Kirby, let's see if you can do a little better than just smashing it on the plate. All right, let's see how you can do here. Here we go. There we go. See, look how careful he's examining it. Little seasoning. You see this, Herbie? This is what you should have been doing, Herbie. Okay. Our task for today is to get these guys a better kitchen. And I need the storage for food and things as well. So it's practical as well as cosmetic. And it's a really nice opportunity. Start with demo. And once the demo's done, then you'll be able to start installing the good stuff. And and I think, you can put them on a lift. I'm going to take these 2 outside so they can be surprised by their new kitchen. It'd be like a reveal, just like the home. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Herbie. All right, let me put her on a. Yeah, Herbie. I'm sorry, buddy. Hold on. I got you. I'll put you. Okay, you guys can hang out over here. Oh, you can't weld to the floor. On the porch. There you go. You guys can watch the construction. There. Okay, you can watch. Oh boy, we have a lot to do. And I do want to share, and I wrote it down on the floor just before I forget, that the names for Kirby and Herbie were given to me by an actual person in my comments, and it is Ray O'Shade. I wrote that down so I wouldn't forget, and it's Ray O'Shade 5649 to be specific. But I really appreciate that, Ray O'Shade. They were great names, and it really inspired me and gave me this cool aesthetic when I put them together. So I thank you for that idea. That's better. I got a little inventory space. We'll get some holes in the floor. We'll patch those. But at least now I can move stuff out of the way. And I really do want to just clear everything off the floor entirely, because I want to open this place up. Open concept. No reason to have a small restaurant. We have all this space. I guess storage is what storage is for. The trick is, and I'll sacrifice one just for example, these are delicate. So we have to be very careful. If we use these anywhere where we want to protect something like this outside wall, a tape bot will destroy these in a second. So we can't use them there. But I do like how they look, especially if they're painted. They look great. I think that does it for the demo. I've got everything out. Oh, there's a plant hiding over here. Yeah, I like it. Maybe I'll use him later. And the plan for this is the floor first. So I do want to use an actual wood one and not this scrap wood. And I think this is the last spot right here, like that. And already look at that space. Nice, perfectly clean floor, looking better already. So now we can finish some balcony, you know, some other touches here. There we go. And I do want to open up the window. So it is time. I got to take these things out. Oops. There goes a sale sign. Oh, it looks like that is holding up stairs. Let's build a little... Yeah, it's ugly that way anyway, so let's go ahead and hide the stairs. I think from here, I'll cover it like that, and I'll leave this part open. I am liking how this opens up. Let me... Another sale sign falling off the wall. And these got to go no matter what. They're just too fragile. Now that we got the floor cleaned up, and it looks like we got most of the walls removed. I don't know what to do with this alcove yet. It's just random, and we're gonna move on. I'll become inspired in a moment. I can always jam something in here. All right, and I think from here I'm gonna finish the walls. I like this 2-up look we got going, but we can still see really well. All right, this is really good. This has got that open space I wanted for the bots. Now, I need to pick a spot where I want them. And I think I do want them side to side. Let me start with creating a nice kitchen area for the bots. They're gonna want something clean, spaced, and I think I'm gonna go with tile. We're gonna put them on some nice clean tile. How big of an area can we create? And I think I want it to be the whole kitchen area. So we'll tile that. You think this stuff goes, oh. I'm out of inventory. I'm always out of inventory space. Filling that storeroom up. So now that we got room in the inventory, let's create some space on the floor. This is going to be the kitchen. Like that clean white tile. It's good stuff. And I think I will create a wall here. Not a big wall, but just a kitchen space. Maybe this can be a sitting area. A viewing space, maybe a table and some chairs out here for guests. There we go. It's starting to look like a kitchen. And this metal's got a nice look. It's kind of a stainless. It feels clean for a kitchen. Like that. Uh-oh, am I out of it? Oh, running low. But we should be able to finish a nice frame here. That looks nice. It is starting to look better. I've got the ceiling put in with these nice little canopies and the light. The floor and the walls are coming in. They've got to be tall on the outside. I am still worried about bots shooting stuff, but on the inside, I think I am going to leave them nice and open. Although, of course, a stray shot. Yeah, you never know. But, you know, we can put in some bulletproof glass or something if we need to. But for now, I like this look, and I think I'm going to actually put some of these up. It cuts off the view, but I think it gives it a nice curtain appearance and it keeps the scrap aesthetic. I don't want this to look like it's not a scrap home. It's starting to get, well, you know, too polished. I can't have that. I do want it to be nice and safe for our cooks. We have celebrity chefs now, and I want to make sure they're happy here. Not everything you try works. I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, the metal is just too, it's cold. It looks more like a warehouse than like a restaurant that I'm going for, so that's not going to work. Let's just go with a nice, pretty wooden ceiling. Yeah, there we go. That'll warm it up. And then sometimes you get lucky and things just fit perfectly. Completely by accident, that's the exact right size. So I need a couple more here, and then we're going to have a nice... look there, that's coming along really nicely. Okay, let me get a couple more of this out of storage and we'll be done with the walls. Or at least this layer of them. Now that I got a little draft of the room going, let's get our bots and see what they think of our progress so far. And if there's anything we need to tweak to make them feel at home. So, well, there. Oh, I think you're gonna look right at home there. And let's get Herbie. See how she likes sitting here. Does that look good? What do you think? It's a little tight. Give you a little elbow room. Oh, that's perfect. You guys look great. You look very happy there. Oh, and I forgot. I think it's important you guys get your poster. For all you do. I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, let's get your some more kitchen gear. I think I've got... Now, I do want to keep this fridge. Double this up, and boom, we got a refrigerator. I don't have anything for really tables and chairs. I've got one good one. I like this one. I'll grab some more wherever I can find them. Oh, you can find these tables and chairs in the guardhouses at the warehouse. As you can see, I did a little adjusting. I changed the roof a little bit because these two guys side by side, it's just too tempting, and I had to make it happen. So I've got some awning, some lighting to help improve this a little bit. So now I just need to get to this side of the room, which I think I'm gonna put in a little break area. Maybe put in a fridge, maybe a countertop and a sink or something. Just something, give a little break room look. And over here, I'm not sure, but maybe, you know, restaurants, oh, deleted the floor. But sometimes, you know, restaurants and bars go together. So maybe some tables or something. I'm not sure. There's no drinking in Scrap Mechanic, but, you know, there's no reason a guy can't sit down and have a nice glass of milk when he wants to. So, yeah, let's work on the break room next. So let's get the fridges set up. Just when you stack them, you get like a fridge. I think maybe I'll move it over a notch. That looks great. Okay, we've got a little break room here. Oh, I know what this needs. Every break room needs a sink. Boink. Yeah, I think we definitely want to... Let's cut out a little room for a sink here. There we go. Put the sink in. Put a little distance between the sink and the microwave for safety. Yeah, that looks nice. I don't know, it's a little sterile, huh? That's better. Got a nice little break room here. We got a fridge stocked full of burgers and extra food. Little sink here. I did use this space brick. I thought it made a really nice texture. I don't know about the color. I'll probably paint some things here. Everything is in its default color. One of the last things I do is bust out the paintbrush, but I think this is starting to look pretty sharp. I had a little extra block, so I'm like, hey, let's dress this up a little bit. So yeah, we're starting to look well. And I think the next thing, I keep running up and down these stairs, and they're a bit of an eyesore. And what I want to do is grab some of this nice little friction block and replace these stairs with something a little more attractive. Oh yeah, that's gonna look really good. And actually, it feels safer, look at that. So let me finish these stairs. We'll run all the way to the top, and then we'll work on the next thing on our list. Okay, welcome back. I've had a little time to tweak things a little bit. I got carried away. So here we are. Here's a little look at the outside. You can see it's a little less scrappy, a little more orderly. I had the entrance, I improved it. We've got a nice sign here, decorated well with a nice strong entrance. So if anybody tries to bang into the sides of it, at least it'll hold up a little bit. And as we crawl up, it doesn't have the scrap anymore on either side. It's cleaned up. And in here, you can see right away we have Herbie and Kirby. And they've got their new nice little cooking stations and tables. We can sit down here and enjoy a meal. We've already got a couple of burgers set out, milk for us. I only had one chair, so I don't have this station ready. I have a placeholder here. I think it kind of looks funny the way it is. We got a burger waiting on us. There we go. Kirby's enjoying the place. Herbie here as well. And we get fridges underneath. You know, you can reach them from anywhere, which is nice. I'm getting kind of Italian vibes, I think, a little bit. Of course, I have a nice balcony. I did expand the balcony, so it comes out to here. I perhaps some tables and chairs, but we get a beautiful view of our farm. As we go back in, we can go over to the now improved break room. You can see here we've got stainless appliances, a fridge and a microwave, our own sunshake machine. On this side of the room, I thought it'd be great. We added a lounge, complete with a sturdy support pole. That's good. And then we have these tables for nice standing, lounging. You can, you know, say, you know, hey, do you come to this scrap world often? That line would so work. I know that line would work. And for an added boost, you know, for happy hour, I did add a little disco action. You know, you get the, you know, boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants. You know, it works. It's rocking right here. So that is our new and improved kitchen. Everything is ready to go now. I feel very comfortable. I could have a guest over and not be embarrassed by the state of my kitchen. They can enjoy a nice meal with me, a burger. We can have a lovely view, enjoy the stars and the dimming of the sun. That is Scrap Mechanic. That thing just dims right out. Thank you very much for joining for this creative build. I know it wasn't a technical build, but hopefully this may spark some ideas for you when you're doing your worlds. When you're playing Scrap, don't just try to beat the bots. You know, there's no reason survival can't be something that you're actually fully enjoying. And take a minute and do some decorations, see what Scrap has to offer. Even in survival mode, this is pure vanilla survival mode. Everything you're seeing here has just been collected through a little bit of hard work. If you liked today's video, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time in game.